Now, before I take questions, I would like to address an extremely dishonest narrative that we've seen emerging over the past few days. Many outlets in this room have been fear-mongering the American people into believing there is a constitutional crisis taking place here at the White House. I've been hearing those words a lot lately. But in fact, the real constitutional crisis is taking place within our judicial branch, where district court judges in liberal districts across the country are abusing their power to unilaterally block President Trump's basic executive authority.
So can I ask you a question?
What do you have? Go ahead. No, that's enough. Go ahead.
Can I ask? But that wasn't my question.
The problem is you don't write the truth. So, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go to the next
Can I ask you a question about...
No, not CNN, please. Go ahead.
The White House has not responded to these allegations.
I told you. CNN is fake news. Don't talk to me. Go ahead, please.
But he says he was retaliated against, and that's why he was removed from his job. Do you have a response to that?
Okay, next question.
Mr. President, I have...
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about troubling, irresponsible, one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Oh my God, they are going to ding me on that, and this is a threat to our democracy. They dinged me on that. I meant to trade that out, but I guess I forgot. Yeah, it's a midday show. Just coming back from my walk. Usually helps me clear my head. Haven't been able to do it. Doing things here around the house. Spring cleaning, if you want to call it that. And it dawned on me that, yes, Trump is indeed a dictator. He is a dictator. But what type of dictator? Because I can admit that. We can all openly admit that. I mean, the way he's doing things right now, like the Democrats, they have no power. I mean, no power. This video up here, this is Kash Patel and his confirmation vote. He's in. He's in.
Ms. Baldwin, no.
Yeah, they have no power. They held it up for weeks. And I'm telling you right now, this is Kash Patel is the final piece of the puzzle because
no.
They've got to do all the legwork when it comes to investigations. All right. Trump signed executive orders. You had Elon Musk, who's working for free, who already has your information, just like Google. If you're listening here on YouTube, you had to create a Google account. They already have your information. The man's working for free. What does he want with your $14.87? Please stop. His job is to cut the fat, not steal your money. Everybody mad. The only people saying that are the ones that are mad that he bought Twitter and destroyed their biggest media handle. I mean, you see what a wreck Blue Sky is. I mean, Mark Hamill out here, they kicked him out of Blue Sky, and he's sitting up here. His pants are falling down in the middle of what? Accepting an award. I mean, how sad is that? Like, dude, you went from like Luke Skywalker to pathetic and sad old man whose pants are falling down at an award ceremony while up on stage. Like, good Lord, like, dude, hang it up. Robert De Niro was getting heckled at one of his, not movie, but show premieres. And you can clearly hear the guy because nobody else was clapping or cheering or nothing. The guy was doing the Donald Trump impersonation, saying how low IQ Robert De Niro was and how he should feel stupid and when is he leaving the country and all of this stuff. I mean, it was like no fanfare. It was just that one heckler and people with their cell phones and cameras out. I mean, come on, you talk about a star whose days have gone by. Ooh-wee. And the only reason why he's still working is because of the child support order that was imposed on him by a judge, because he out here 70, 80 years old, knocking up 30-year-old chicks who are only messing with him to come up off on some money. And boy, he got like, who's the guy that was crying? What do you want from me? Tyrese? Yeah, he got Tyrese. He got fleeced like Tyrese. He got fleeced. So he out here working because he ain't had the money.
No, Mr. Hovind,
Yeah, he ain't had the money. That's why he out here working. But at any rate, I know I'm spiderwebbing. Say it's on. Yeah, it's on. Long live the Force Empire, Moff Gideon. Yeah.
Mr. Schiff.
Understand, when we say that you never should have tried to shoot him, or you shouldn't have missed. You shouldn't have missed. You shouldn't have missed. So because of that, now that he's president, he's exposing everything. And I mean, everything that you've done. There's a reason why they're releasing the JFK files, the MLK files, and what? Flying saucers and all of this stuff. Who else was assassinated? I think it was 3 people they said that was assassinated. JFK, MLK, something else. But there's a reason why they're releasing those files, because they know who did it. You know, like he said, hey, JFK was a Democrat. Don't you think you want to know? Been 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. Don't you think you want to know? Because we can tell you who's behind it. Hey, black folks, we can tell you who shot MLK and why. J. Edgar Hoover kept meticulous notes. You understand? Meticulous notes. That guy was in everybody's business.
No. Mrs. Capito.
You know? It's in everybody's business.
Mr. Wicker.
He knew where the bodies were buried. Like they said, there was 2 shooters. Like, here, there's a start for you conspiracy theorists. There's a start. There's a bone. You can work off from that. You know, get the frenzy out there in the public. But they just waiting. They were waiting on Cash Patel. The reason why they haven't released anything, like such as the names of the Democrats who were taking money from USAID, USAID. And now what? They're in the Board of Education now. And they're getting ready to do the IRS. I mean, they saying this so bad. Trump feels so bad as a dictator. He's doing this. He's taking down his enemies, which is the Democratic Party, because he feels that they've been an enemy to the American people for far too long. Like you tried to kill me, allegedly. Oh, and by the way, I haven't even gotten to that female former CI. Yeah, Kash Patel is here. Trust me. We'll be knocking on your door before the year is out, probably before the summer. We'll be knocking on your door. You'll be brought in to testify, and you won't just be sitting up there being silent, because we have the files. I know you think you have destroyed everything, but do understand, I mean, we spend a great deal of money on intelligence. What you think you destroyed, we can easily dig up. Just like that missing $4 trillion out of the Treasury that doesn't have any signatures on it. So it's like it just disappeared out of thin air. Trust me, we can trace it. I mean, come on. How often do we need to trace the disappearance of $4 trillion to the coincidence of either $4 trillion popping up somewhere else, or an uptick where the uptick, if you add it all up, it leads up to $4 trillion. I mean, trust me, there's a reason why Big Balls has the name Big Balls. Look at what he's doing. He's outing you. Little computer nerd that lands space shuttles and stuff. Like Trump said, they dress worse than Elon. I mean, these guys be in t-shirts and jeans, and they have these weird nicknames that they call each other, these weird internet handles. Like, yeah, like, but they're not kids as far as like goofy teenagers. Like, these are like super nerds. These are prodigies. Elon don't do the hard work. The prodigies do. The prodigies do. Sometimes stuff goes wrong. That's what happens when you test rockets. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just telling you like it is. Yeah, can you get your prodigies to write a code or whatnot so we can figure out where all of this money is going? And then all Elon Musk does is just traces the money and then hands Trump the report. Everything he said in that press conference at the White House, he did not lie about. Like he said, we've got, 40 million for this, 10 million for that and everything. Is like, but these people, they're telling us that they're not seeing all of that money. You saw Zelensky say, I didn't see, y'all said 250 billion. I ain't seen no 250 billion. Where are y'all getting these numbers from? You wonder why people who make a couple $100,000 a year in government services, why suddenly they have tens of millions of dollars in their bank account. That's not a joke. I mean, we literally see the proof. The proof has been out there for the longest. All you gotta do is just dig it up. They be having net worths on there. Why is a senator from Wyoming worth $10 million, $20 million, $50 million? Shouldn't his salary be much higher than that?
Mr. Gallego, no.
Matter of fact, where's this money coming from? What? Oh, so you say they wanted 40 million for lesbian tap dancing in Bosnia. Okay, who signed off on this? Okay, so they signed off on this. So where did the trail go? Like, so the lesbian tap dancers only got $400,000 out of 40 million? Well, where'd the rest of the money go? Oh, they went to these accounts. Whose names are on these accounts? Whose names are associated with these accounts? Oh, really? Oh, really? Up here yelling and screaming about racism and immigrants and all of this stuff, huh? How much you say? Their cut was 22 million. It was split up with other people. Who? I mean, okay. So they're not saying anything. Trust me. Elon knows where the crooks are. All they did was just trace the money. Trump ain't saying nothing. He's already turning his findings over to Pam Bondi. And of course, this situation right here with Kash Patel, the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of Democrats across the United States doing the perp walk. You got to get it down. You need to cut the budget down from $37 trillion. Understand? Okay, look. First things first. Let's get this budget under control. Let's get this border locked down and try to get these energy costs down. Of course, I ain't gonna lower the cost of eggs overnight. It had nothing to do with me. Go talk to the guy. Go talk to the virus. Go talk to the virus. Ask them why do we have to slaughter over 1 million chickens. So that way you're over here bitching snowman tax to me over the price of eggs. Did you not? For you to be so up my tail, why are you not listening to the press conferences? The woman is telling you, hey, this is what you're griping about. We hear you, and this is what we're doing about it. She's telling you that every time she goes on that podium. Why are you not listening to the press conferences? She's answering your questions. I'm surprised the media isn't answering your questions. This media that you watch and consume so much that calls me, oh, he is the Nazi. They're not telling you that. They're not telling you that we found evidence of fraud and corruption on their newscast. They're too busy talking about them. Oh, he's trying to get into your bank accounts and steal your Social Security. Like, well, where's the evidence of that? Well, we said so. Oh. Be surprised at how many people consume that crap. And I'm talking about us as black folks. It's, oh my God. As much as y'all listen to all this YouTube stuff about women, how do you not broaden your horizons and figure out what black men are talking about on the realm of politics? Like, that's part of the manosphere. You have to be well-rounded. You don't have to like my delivery or anything like that, but it's like when I'm having these conversations.
Under the previous order, the motion to reconsider is considered made and laid upon the table, and the president will be immediately notified.
Oh, 51 to 49, not bad. This is why Jasmine Sullivan was saying, Jasmine Crockett was saying they needed 3 seats, just 3 seats. She knew it. There's no way in hell they're going to flip. It's hard to flip the Republicans because they're all operating on the same page because they know what's up. They know what Trump is trying to do. So it's hard to flip them. They're getting everything that they wanted. Everybody that's in power is getting everything that they wanted to some degree of other. Because the Democrats were acting so smug under Biden that this is their chance to rub it in their daggone face. They're rubbing this in their face. They're going to rub it in their face. They're never going to stop anything from getting passed. And you're never going to get those 3 seats because of everything that's getting passed in rooms like this on days like today. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's about to get a whole lot worse. You're going to be in rooms like this trying to plead your case as to why $10 million found its way into your bank account shortly after you signed off on,
you've never been in one,
money to be spent to Honduras somewhere to teach ballroom lesbianism or some crap like that.
So what's happened here is that the Budget Committee reported out Senate Concurrent Resolution 7 that will allow through the reconciliation process.
That's my show. Like, yeah, you're going to be in rooms like this talking to guys like him about where all that money came from that's in your bank account and what the IRS found, because you can't keep the IRS out of your bank account. during a criminal investigation. That's evidence. That's evidence. Your bank account is evidence. So even though you tried to stall out Kash Patel and stall out Trump through Doge with the courts, with the judges that probably took some kickbacks in order to do it, unless they were like activist judges. Yes, because I believe CNN. He's a Nazi. You know, unless he one of them morons. You're thinking like that, you definitely shouldn't be a judge. You're supposed to review the evidence and make a case on make a judgment on the preponderance of the evidence. I know. I know I don't use $20 words too much, or even $5 words too much. Like, I don't know. I don't feel that would come out right for me. Like, it's not me saying nothing about nothing. I'm just saying I'm more comfortable just, barbershopping. So yeah, once Kash Patel, understand, they already want, like, you got like 5,000 or something, like thousands of agents were talking about something, they were going to quit their jobs if he gets nominated. And it's like, well, quit, because you're not the FBI agents I would want in my agency. I need dedicated agents that are for the American people, not for a political affiliation. You're here to do your goddamn job. That's it. I was just following orders. Yes, follow orders. Or get the hell on. You don't want to be responsible for what? People who stole American taxpayer dollars. You don't want to be responsible for investigating and slapping cuffs on, making them do the perp walk, because the media is going to be everywhere. Yeah, you're going to have media following y'all like a hawk. Anytime y'all get more than 2 in a truck, we following y'all. Oh my God. Just follow the caravan, because this is a big arrest. It's going to be mainstream media. What, you don't want to arrest your buddies over a political affiliation? Is that it? Because that's what's going to go down. That's what's going to go down. I mean, I can already hear the excuses.
RICO is not a crime. It is a category. What is the
It's a category of crime.
Hello, Democrats. Hey, I am speaking, and I would love your attention. There is a black woman at this podium, and I deserve your attention like the 11 people who went before me. Yes, I am speaking.
One thing I'll just get a little emotional about is it does, as a woman, feel pretty. I feel like the humanity of women and their rights.
But yeah, I mean, the white woman fake crime thing, I could do it too, but and then you just turn it off.
No one cares. And even in the face of Trump and everything that he represented, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Because y'all got false narratives out there, and y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Get ready to hear a lot of that. Matter of fact, we gonna play excuse card bingo. We're gonna play excuse bingo when it start happening. We're gonna play excuse bingo. See all the excuses that's gonna be filled up. But yeah, getting back to the answer though, Yes, he is going. Yeah, Big Tiff. Yeah, Big Tiff. The truth is, yeah, for the Democrats, he will be a dictator. But he'll be a benevolent dictator because you're his enemy, not the American people. You have to understand this guy's a businessman. He lives here. He has investments here. There's no way in hell he was going to let y'all go on the path that you were going where you're going to destroy this country. This country holds his wealth. For Elon, this country holds his wealth. For all of us, this country is where we hold whatever little wealth we have. This is the only place we live. I mean, what the hell did y'all were talking about passport broing for? Like, I mean, were you really just talking to go and for $40 taco meat, you was going to spend over $1,000, $1,500 for $40 taco meat, as much as you can afford? Or was you trying to get the hell up out of here? Like, what? Which one does it? Or are you just traveling just to see the world? You know, whatever. You know, if it happens, it happens. But I'm not gonna pay for it. And you know, maybe if she's bad enough, I just say I didn't. You know, whatever. I mean, good Lord, you got lames out here that make whole channels talking about the sex workers they paid for. Yeah, street meat. You got dudes literally got channels out here talking about the street meat out in Poland and whatnot. I mean, it is pathetic. Come on, man. It's a manosphere. We gotta clean that stuff up. It was a black dude too. You gotta clean that stuff up. You got one over there. You got another one in South America. All they talk about is how much they, you know, the chicks, they talk about their tricking experiences. Adventures in tricking. That's what they channels might as well be. Adventures in tricking. It's pathetic. But at any rate, I mean, that's why you were trying to get a passport to get the hell up out of here, right? Because everything was going to crap. It's a different generation. I'd say a different type of dude. They're the worst they're the worst of what being a passport bro is about. And then it gets magnified as the centerpiece. The only way to deal with that is to squash that out. You have to denounce it. You have to denounce it. No, the way you squash it out is to denounce it. Call it out and denounce it. You have to do that. That's for like the serious dudes. You know, the ones that got YouTube channels dedicated to that stuff. That's what they have to do. They have to denounce it. And I've seen a couple of them do that. I've seen it was an Asian dude and of course Legion of Men. Like he denounced it and then everybody else started like denouncing it. Like I saw other people who was talking about it, but I didn't know who they were. So I didn't bother to see I saw the titles. I just didn't watch the video because I'm like, well, you know, looks like everybody based on their titles are all in agreement. You know, like, yeah, like this is, we don't rock like this. You know, and they was all different races of dudes. So that's good. You know, that's good. Don't ruin it. You know what I'm saying? Don't ruin it for everybody. But it's looking like, you know, there's really no point now in leaving the country. That's what I was getting at. There's really no point now in leaving the country because, like I said, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it's going to get worse for women before it gets better for them. But for men, like this is like a golden opportunity for you. Recruitment in the military is off the charts. They said it's up. Like it is up tremendously. Excuse me. That's why I was kind of laughing yesterday when we were talking about excuse me, shit. When we were talking about the UK sending like first they said 100,000, then they said, well, we can send 20,000 to the front line, and then the rest of it can be made up by the UN. And it's like, damn, y'all really that low on men for your military? Like, damn. One guy was like, what you need to do is draft all of these rapists out here and all these criminals, draft these migrants, start drafting these migrants, get them a job. They want to be true Englanders or Londoners or wherever the hell we at in the EU. Yeah, serve in the military. Take your butt over to Ukraine. You come back, we'll grant you full citizenship status because you've earned it. If not, get the hell out. Yes, we're taking military age men and women, you know, because we're a progressive society. No, you don't have to do the full 3+ pull-ups. Just hang on the bar for 3 seconds and you'll be okay. What's up, Sick Diggy? You'll be okay. Wasn't that what they were saying? Wasn't that the requirements, the woke requirements? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. It was pathetic. It was pathetic. You see, Six said, what's up, Lewis? Because you probably got your phone in your pocket. So, like, man, y'all are pathetic. JD Vance tried to tell y'all need to change y'all political ways or y'all gonna be in some trouble, because if y'all get into some stuff, if you ain't paying us, we're not getting involved. Like, we ain't getting involved. None of our business. No, we don't provide free security where the bill is on us. Are you crazy? No, we don't do that no more. You want our protection, you pay for it. Just ask South Africa. These people have no idea what the hell is getting ready to happen to them. Like, it's already a norm that you have roving gangs of native South Africans slaughtering families for their farmland. I mean, that was like a trend. And now you got the president talking like that? And you're not our problem? You are Russia and China's problem. And you were sitting on a gold mine of resources. A gold mine of resources. And you're no longer our problem. You're not paying us. We can't afford to pay for your protection over there. I mean, sure, if something happens to you, we'll have a conversation with them and Russia and China. But in the meanwhile, you're slaughtered. Your family's slaughtered. The crime is taking place at the hands of the government. And in their zealot, enthused fashion to take back their native lands from the white devils, the U.S. pulled their forces back. Peeking around the tree. Peeking around the tree. Ukrainians might have to learn about self-reliance. Oh, yeah. Them trying to rely on the UK. Trump pulling everything back. He pulling the forces, and he won his money. Tulsi Gabbard is going to go. That's her first mission, to fly over there and then start combing through your books. Take a team. Yeah, Kash Patel will provide security through the FBI and the military. Pete Buttigieg will make sure. Is that him? Whatever. We'll make sure. No, Pete Hegseth. Excuse me, Pete Hegseth. Don't worry. You'll be you and your team of accountants will be well protected from Ukrainian forces. Trust me. Ooh, turn that sucker out. Do you understand me? The Russians will be like, damn, calm down, US. We wasn't gonna do all that. You turn that sucker out. I am not Joe Biden. I do not play. I'm gonna protect mine. So go on over there and comb through that dude's books, because we want 200 billion back. You said that you didn't get 200 billion, then where did it go? How much did you get? You said you didn't get all that money. Well, then how much did you get? And what did you do with what you did get? Kash Patel is the puzzle piece. He's the Sikkim boy. Yeah, he's not senile at all. Trump is very astute. He's very much mentally intact. They tried to play that game with him. He like, nah, like, trust me. Like, I rarely sleep. Like, my mind is sharp as a tack. I'm always thinking of ways to help the American public and get this money down, because, I mean, damn, we almost about to be in like soup lines. The economy was getting ready to crash. You talking about, turning America from a first world country to a third world country. I mean, we were there with first world technology, by the way. We were on our way there. Like, literally. I'm trying to clean this up. Get the third world criminal element out of here. find possible terrorists, get them up out of here. I saw one video. They were saying it was like a video from India saying that Trump was deporting illegal migrants that were Indians, illegal Indian migrants. He was deporting them. You don't see that on the news though, do you? Yeah, trust me, they deporting a lot of folks. It ain't just the South Americans. He getting everybody. So don't be surprised by the level of corruption in Russia or in Ukraine. In just about every former state, there are oligarchs, of course. But I mean, we have no ties to Russia, so whatever the hell they doing. I mean, from what I understand, Putin is like, I'm not giving up power for nothing. Like, I'll die in this office. I heard that years ago about Putin, something he said to the tune of that. So, he's essentially a dictator. He said, FYI, Trump hosts Black Month reception. Yeah, I know. It's not even like, for me with Trump, it's not even an issue of race. You know what I'm saying? I know they're trying to dig up stuff from the 70s and 80s, but I mean, do understand in the 70s in New York, damn well that was really a tenant situation, because back in the 70s, what white people, well-to-do white people wanted to live around black people. That was the point of them moving into the high rise to get away from you. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to make a profit or do you want to be political? Hey, it was a good move at the time. But sometimes those things come back to bite you. The Central Park 5. I mean, the whole story was a woman was brutally essayed, found unconscious, near death. I mean, a horrific scene in the park. The suspects, we caught 5 of them. They happen to have some of her belongings on them. So, of course, they were the prime suspects. If that was your daughter and a billionaire or millionaire, whatever, one of the most influential people in New York, if he put out that headline for the sake of your daughter, and he did say if they were guilty, give them, the stiffest penalty, because it was a horrific crime at that time. It was horrific. It was like almost like our version of like Trayvon Martin, only he didn't die. It was that bad back then. All the crime in New York, that's what led to the whole stop and frisk stuff. Eventually got to the stop and frisk stuff. But now, as you can see, not too many people really carry. You don't hear about a lot of gun crime in New York. You just hear about a lot of physical assaults. You know what I'm saying? So New York has some strict gun laws. Oh, thanks. It's my walking cap because it absorbs the sweat. Say Trump and surprisingly Tiger Woods celebrating Black History Month. It wasn't until the actual perpetrator confessed to the crime that the 5 were clear of all charges. Right. You said New York in the 80s and 90s was wild. Right. Yeah, exactly. So you have to understand, I mean, that was just some shit that happened at the time. A lot of people had knee-jerk reactions. I mean, look what happened. Yeah, the actual perpetrator confessed to the crime. It's just like the killers of Michael Jordan's father. Like, you really couldn't place them at the scene, but the kids said they found the stuff on the side of the road. And I'm asking myself, why the hell would Michael Jordan's daddy, supposedly traveling from one place to another, pull over to the side of the road to get some sleep, only to wind up his body down in a ditch and robbed of all of his possessions? Murdered. How the hell does that happen? There's no way in hell 2 teenagers did that. The whole story doesn't make any sense. They got them because they had the possessions. And nobody was able to prove the murder, but they went down for it anyway on circumstantial evidence. They knew what they had, but they should have reported what they had instead of just, all on social media, because that's how they got caught. They all on social media showing the stuff off, the rings and the watches and stuff. That's how they got caught. Them dudes was snitching on themselves all the way back when Michael Jordan was playing basketball. Yeah, internet stupidity goes a long way. Since the dawn of the camera. Sometimes before then. Oh my God, the things that used to go on in those chat rooms. I mean, there's a reason why To Catch a Predator was a popular TV show. Oh my God, and that was before cameras. Hi, come on in. I'm just going to the back. There's some cookies on the table. Man, we used to snuggle up and watch that. Yeah, that was way before cameras. At least video cameras. But at any rate, once Patel get his team together and they start investigating these Democrats, watch, you'll see suddenly it'll be literally like rats from a sinking ship. You say, don't make me do the booty warrior impression from the Boondocks. Tom! He can do this the hard way. Whichever way, the choice is yours. Don't make me know that mine. The choice is yours. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. And he walking the streets. He walking the streets like Peter Parker in Spider-Man 3 with the Venom symbiote, and he was doing the goofy look. He walking the streets. Hey, ooh, look at you. You look good in them jeans, bruh. Let me stop. I'm here for man, but oh Lord. I like you. I call you Chris Handsome. Let me stop. No, but trust me, you're gonna see once some arrests start being made or some subpoenas start going out. Yeah. You're gonna see a lot of Democrats. You're gonna see them start calling up Russell Simmons, asking if he has room at his hotel, and contact with a real estate agent and possibly a bank to transfer their funds. You're gonna see that. You might see some people decide to go to the upper room themselves. There's going to be a lot of, trying to cop a plea. It's going to be a lot of excuse making. It's going to be a lot of whistleblowing. Will there also be Republicans under investigation as well? That's up to Trump, to be honest. If you look at what's going on with Eric Adams. Look at what's going on with Eric Adams. This is why they so mad at Eric Adams, because Eric Adams snitched on him. He turned against him. He still called himself a Democrat, but they're like, no, take that D off your name, bro. You ain't one of us. Then you watch the Super Bowl. They not like us. They not like us. The only hit song you can think of that. Good Lord. Bruh, Drake is selling millions. He's selling out worldwide. You're doing good in Atlanta. Played the Super Bowl where hardly nobody watched or attended. I'm laughing at that meme though. It's like what they say, what MAGA heard. It was like Igga stuff, Igga stuff, Igga stuff, Igga stuff, Igga stuff. You can figure out what they were saying. But yeah, it was That was funny. Because you know it's true. I mean, let's be honest. You know it's true. No, but the Democratic Party is about to be cleaned out. Oh, Samuel Jackson is Uncle Sam. You know what? I don't even understand why people are bothered with that. I mean, Apollo Creed came out dressed as Uncle Sam. You know, in Rocky, what was it, Rocky 2? He had on the American trunks and the hat and everything. He came out as Uncle Sam. So, I mean, what does that mean? Like, please, we had the Allstate man playing God. We had the Allstate man playing God. You're in good hands with Allstate. Yeah, he's played God in a popular TV show. He was God in Lucifer. And nobody say nothing. He was like, yeah, it fits. Yeah, it fits. I mean, only the silly was really be concerned with that stuff. But, you know, to me, I make joke of it. Because, you know, yeah, Dennis Haysbert. Thank you, Skin. Yeah, Dennis Haysbert. Damn good actor, man. He played a damn good God. He played a damn good God. Especially when we found out that Dan had been, he knew that Dan had been sleeping with his wife. And so, of course, we found out that our God is a petty God. Our God is a petty God. Oh, he a petty God. Dude was like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm doomed to hell. He was like, be seeing you or not. Hey, wait. What does that mean? Oh, what's up, Naima? Okay. All right, let me stop. I'm making light of in fun of this stuff, but in all seriousness, though, Democratic Party is in need of new leadership. They're in need of a new ideology. Come on. You say you remember the movie Dogma? Yeah. Lucifer season 5 up. Or shall I say 4? I would say 4 up. 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Because they only did 6 seasons, but 4 and 5 are the ones that dealt with God being on earth and whatnot. There's the catalyst and then the reason why he popped up. Like he popped up in the middle of season 5, but it's after that the show just take off. It was like, wow. At any rate, fantastic writing. At any rate, yeah, you're going to see the Democrats. They're going to get new leadership by hook or crook. They're going to get new leadership by hook or crook. Like they need an absolute overhaul as well as rebuilding of the party. Right. They most certainly do. And this is, unfortunately for them, this is how it's going to happen. This is how it's going to happen. You got to weed out the people who are, really an enemy of you. Because, they're stealing your taxpayer dollars. How dare you sit here and have your talking point is about Elon having your information. Why are you listening to these people? Are you not watching the press conferences? This is why we sit here and do the 2-hour shows and whatnot. We watch the whole press. I want to hear everything you had to say, bro. Because I'm holding you to that. I hear you. So far, y'all been, like they say, promises made, promises kept. Let's go. What else? What are you surprising me with today? At least 3 things are you surprising me with? Before I sit my butt down in this chair and fire it up. About 8:30 in the morning? But will it be in time for the midterms? Look, let me tell you something. It's too late. You can forget it. Everything with USAID coming out, and then the DOE and the IRS, and you got Trump sitting up here talking about, news articles are out here talking about Trump saying that, there's possibility that what they find with the IRS like with the projections, we can give Americans, taxpayers, legit legal taxpayers, $15,000 this year. Like, you ain't even got to pay taxes. In fact, we're going to pay you. We're going to give American taxpayers back $15,000 each. That's a stimulus package. Do you understand? That's a real stimulus package. Like, because it's your money. This is what you pay it for. But if you are in tough times, the government is supposed to help you, not be teaching ballroom scissoring and booty bumping in Syria for $100 billion goddamn dollars. What your money is for. This is why your health care should be free. I mean, literally free. You wonder why you don't have money for health care? Because it's being spent on booze. I know the snowman tax is trying to help. I'm supposed to clean up my language. Yeah, but that's the point of it. That's the point of you paying taxes. Your health care is supposed to be free. Your roads are supposed to be fixed. Your elderly is supposed to have, prime care, especially in a government facility, because what we pay in taxes, we supposed to have the best of the best when it comes to a government facility. Not a bunch of lazy have-beens. People who don't know what the hell they're doing. They just there to get a check. No, you're supposed to be getting paid enough. You're supposed to have top-notch government facilities for free with what you pay in taxes. And now you got Trump trying to get it to the point where you don't even have to pay taxes. You don't even have to pay taxes. We get it from External Revenue Service. I'm trying to create the ERS. You make more money coming from these countries that are now. When we first had the ERS, that was because it was right before the Industrial Revolution. So we draw money from other countries. All right. With trade, because that's how you build an empire, through trade. So you're trying to do that through trade, but you're not getting enough because there's not enough developing countries in the world to buy your products. You're almost like at a stalemate. So you figure, well, we got a lot of working people. We can start having them pay taxes off of their income, and then we can build the nation off that way. We'll come out better on the long run because expansion, growth, the Industrial Revolution, everything is growing. Jobs are aplenty here. So we can just tax businesses and the working Americans, and we'll make more money than we do with tariffs. Say Stephen Miller gives me the creeps. There's something slimy about him. So, it's probably his personality. But he's doing his job. Give him that. So they did that. But now the American taxpayer, they don't make enough. There's not enough coming from the American taxpayer that'll keep the country afloat with the cost of inflation and everything. So you got to get costs down. First thing you got to do an audit, see what you're spending too much money on, and cut it. All right, but make sure that you keep the important stuff like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, things like that, things of that nature, where people actually who they pay taxes so the government can take care of them, as they get older or whatnot. We keep those programs, but again, we don't need transsexual ball dancing in Mongolia at $40 million. Like, what are we doing? And who signed off on this? And where did the money go? The economy is getting ready to crash. We got to do something. Who better to have the guts / the big balls to do something like that outside of, a businessman? Yes, they have failures, but clearly they have successes too. They're worth over $1 billion. Nobody's worth over $1 billion if they're a complete failure. I mean, clearly you're doing something right. People say, read this book, The Art of the Deal. They say, you want to know how Trump thinks? Read this book, Art of the Deal. And then you see how he moves and you see how he gets stuff done. He's a CEO. He's not a politician. He's a businessman, real estate mogul, TV showrunner. I mean, the guy does business. He owns several small businesses, big businesses. He leases his name out to make money. Yeah, to the Democrats, he is a dictator. Said, hey, will some Republicans get charged? Eric Adams is a prime example of, will you or won't get charged under the Trump administration if you are a politician taking money under the table from the government. That is, unless I can replace you with somebody that still holds on to our political beliefs and is probably qualified to do the job. If we can replace you with them, then, I mean, understand, some Republicans are going to have to be the broken eggs to make the omelet. You know what I'm saying? They can't just be 100% one-sided. The Democrats are trying hard to either charge Eric Adams or to get him to step down. But his approval ratings are way too high because he's working with Tom Homan to get the illegal immigrants off the streets, and it's working. And people are literally making videos. I mean, because we live in an Orwellian nation. People record everything they do and tell their business every second of the day. But they were saying how they felt safe walking the streets now. Like, wow, like they got rid of, these people, that people, you get hassled. We used to, it was scary to walk to school. The guys would hang out at the fence and always, say stuff to us. Those guys are gone. You got bodegas in New York. They lost all their workers. They're scared to come to work because of ICE. And I get it. I mean, these are probably not the criminal element. But the thing about it is, you got all of these government workers who are out of work. Hey, jobs have opened up for you. If you're really willing to work hard to keep that roof over your head, you might have to downsize or something, but at least you have an income. You can work 2 of these jobs and, maybe in about 6 months, apartments will be affordable. They won't be like between $1,600 and $2,000 again. Maybe we can get the prices down back to affordability, especially with 2 jobs. I mean, they won't go back to no $400 apartments again, but, maybe we get it down to like, maybe $900. We'll get it. We'll try our best to get it under $1,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment. We'll try to do that. That's a $600 to $1,000 difference. $600 to $1,000 difference. We'll do that. That's the best we can do. It'll never go back to $400, $450, $50 again, depending on where you live. But now there's a general consensus. But don't worry, with everything that he calls himself doing with the tax plan, you'll be able to afford it. Tax plan and the energy plan to bring energy costs down. You'll be able to afford it. Say people need to learn to live within their means. Yeah. But that's, again, me back to the same saying. It's going to get worse before it get better, because a lot of people they either live above their means or right at their means, and losing their job right now in this economy, they just crashed out, bro. They just crashed out because the majority of their income goes to sustaining their lifestyle on a monthly basis. I can see if you paying bills, that's why they call it job just over broke. But yeah, I people understand that if you working, you paying bills. I mean, sometimes you know, you in a position where you stuck like that. But as far as like you a single person living by yourself, or you've got children and you've maxed out your rent as far as your earnings, you've maxed it out right at your earnings, to where, like, you know how it is, like your first check go to your rent, and maybe you'll have some gas or $40 or something like that left over. You know, maybe $150 at the most, $200 if you're lucky, because you've maxed out your residence, your rent / mortgage with your check. And then the second check, of course, is where you pay all utilities. You know, if you maxing it out, if you know you can live less than that on what you earn, but you're too busy trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're screwed. You're screwed. You're screwed, because you're the ones that get fired first. The high salary people that really, in all honesty, with this whole DEI thing, it's not just people who are hired under DEI programs is getting fired. They're getting rid of everybody that they feel to be useless. The thing about it is, with them getting rid of the DEI program, is that you can't sue on the basis of race or sex or whatever under the guise of DEI. Like this one trans person taking a whole month off with pay because they felt that somebody misgendered them. Like, I vote your butt right up out of your seat. I vote you right out of the Congress, the Senate, whatever, with a trustee position, whatever. You're out. No, I haven't seen it. Now you're out. Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did when they got rid of DEI. And trust me, it wasn't just people that were hired under that percentage of DEIs that had to be hired. It was other people too. I mean, you saw them people like last year on TikTok. They sitting up there 1 minute, they bragging about, you know, how they have sleepy time nap rooms at their job, and they make us hot omelets and cheese and then bacon and everything in the morning. We have our choice of cereals, you know. Oh, and yes, look, we got a bouncy house, you know, all that crazy stuff. All of a sudden, a month later, they making crime videos because they got fired via Zoom call. $100,000 job, you know, talking on some Angel Reese stuff. Tomorrow, like, please, my rent is this much. Like, yeah, show is. Now, how you gonna maintain it now that you don't have a job? I cried and then I went and had a fat latte. Those people are screwed. They're the first ones to go. You're probably a DEI hire in their eyes, even if you got hired before then. But more than likely you didn't. That's why you were bragging and then a month ago about your job. It was probably that damn video. No, but yeah, that's happening a lot all across the country. I mean, Trump is firing thousands of government workers with this whole DEI thing. And then I was reading today where the IRS agents, even though they planned on giving us money back, he plans on firing IRS agents, but not until after tax season. Ain't that about a blip? You don't get fired after April 15th. Any day now. You're like, yeah, Bob, you got a 3:00 Zoom meeting? I heard Elon's gonna be on it. Oh my God. Oh, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Ooh. But the good news of it is, what's going up, AV Media? The good news about it is that if you are a government employee that's getting fired, if you take that buyout package that he's offering, I would not vote against that buyout package. I'd tell the Democrats to go kick rocks about blocking that buyout package. Now, y'all can kick rocks. No, because either we take the buyout package or you fire us without the buyout package. Like, you know what? Well, screw it then. I won't give y'all the buyout package. You're just fired. Oh no, you can't fire them. Yes, I can. I'm the president. Their jobs are non-essential to my program. You can't force me to keep them employed for a program I just shut down. Are you kidding me? This is a frivolous lawsuit. That's why we take it to an appeals court. And if you got a crooked appeals court, then we'll take it to the Supreme Court. All majority Republican. Good luck with that. You can stall all you want to trying to hide the money, trying to cover up your tracks. But eventually I'm going to win. Is it true Trump trying to give everyone $5K? I heard it from a black woman, so I have a side eye going. $15K, bro. I saw 15. I heard 15. Forever blessed. I heard 15. Well, I read it. I read 15. Matter of fact, shoot, we got Google right here. Oh, there it is. Here we go. All right, here you go. Anticipating President Trump's tax policies. With Republican control of Congress, Trump's tax agenda could be enacted as soon as 2025. Came out January 2025. All right, that's a bunch of gobbledygook. Okay, let's start here because they talking about money. All right. For better or worse, I'm here. Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. All right. For better or worse, Congress will likely extend most of the provisions from the TCJA. This better includes the 20% qualified business income QBI deduction for pass-through entities. The thresholds for 2025 are $394,600 for married individuals filing joint returns and $197,300 for others. The high gift, estate, and generation skipping tax inclusion amounts $13.99 million in 2025. The 37% maximum ordinary income individual tax rate and the flat 21% corporate tax rate. All of these are scheduled to sunset in 2026, which is now unlikely to occur. Okay, high standard deductions, but no exemption deductions and fewer itemizers. The standard deductions for 2025 will be $30,000 for married couples filing jointly, $15,000 for singles, and $22,500 for heads of household. However, under pre-TCJA rules, a married couple with 2 children will have had deductions of $35,800, $15,000 standard deduction for 4, $5,200 exemption deductions. A larger family would have had even larger deductions. Fewer itemizers. The combination of the $10,000 state and local tax, SALT for short, limitations and higher standard deductions has reduced the percentage of taxpayers itemizing deductions from 35% to 10%. One of the casualties of this combination is first-time home buyers. The pre-CJA mortgage interest and real estate tax deduction incentives will likely not be available. The mortgage interest deduction is expected to remain limited to $750,000 of debt, down from $1 million under pre-TCJA law. A married couple with a 6% $300,000 mortgage subject to the SALT limitation will likely have itemized deductions of $28,000. Okay, so they just laying out the averages. I see $300,000 times 6% plus $10,000. $2,000 less than the 2025 standard deduction of $30,000 for married couples filing jointly. The monthly rent this couple paying on a similar property is likely less than the mortgage payment, meaning the couple will continue to rent. Okay. Note on the SALT limitation. Trump and Congress remained ambiguous during the campaign months regarding the SALT limitation. Trump vowed to get SALT back, which could mean keeping or eliminating the cap. Millions of taxpayers would benefit if the cap was eliminated, but removing the cap would make Trump's already expensive plan, projected deficits of $3 trillion over 10 years, according to Tax Foundation estimates, even more expensive. Many states have helped alleviate the SALT issues on business income by instituting an even elected pass-through entity, PTE, tax. Yeah, but see, the thing is, you're saying, okay, if you just went by the deficits, say $3 trillion over 10 years, but if the tariffs are going through, this is the purpose of the the ERS. The tariffs are going through. We're gonna triple that money in 10 years. Are you kidding me? That $3 trillion that you see in the deficit will be covered. Well, the taxpayers will be covered because of the ERS. This is the purpose of bringing money into the country, to take care of the people that can't afford to take care of themselves. We got it. Relax. Relax. Like, how do you not see the plan all the way through? Hello, McFly. Hello. Oh, Lord. This allows the state PTE tax to be deducted at the business level, effectively bypassing the $10,000 SALT deduction cap for individual taxpayers. Okay, so 2% floor on. Wait, is y'all saying something? Let me make sure I got y'all. Okay, so, y'all saying hi to each other. You catch Trump Black Month ceremony? I did not undo it. Okay. Oh, okay, you guys are just saying hi to each other. Okay. Let's see if I remember correctly. It was Trump who capped mortgage tax deduction at $10K. All right, let me finish this. All right, so TCGA eliminated the 2% floor on miscellaneous itemized deductions, which had a significantly adverse impact on investors and employees who pay for covered expenses out of pocket. The disallowed deductions include investment advisor fees, investment and professional licensing, association and journal dues, internet and phone costs, tax preparation fees, hobby-related deductions, employee home office deductions. Oh, man. Unreimbursed employee travel, mileage, meals, and lodging expenses, and countless other work and investment-related expenses. Right. Because, you paying for that. You want your money back. If the TCGA disallowance of these deductions is extended, employees should consider incorporating or becoming independent contractors. More on this later. So campaign promises. All right. So during his campaign, Trump promised several changes that would be welcomed by the affected taxpayers. No income tax on tip income. Speaking to culinary and hospitality workers in Nevada, Trump promised to eliminate the income tax on tip income. Presumably, the workers would be still subject to payroll, FICA taxes, which is like, what is it, 40% of federal income tax you pay every pay period? Example, well, let's see. A single 12% tax bracket server earning wages of $24,000 and tips of $36,000 would save income taxes of $4,320. So that's $36,000 times, 0.12%. So it's also important to note that the benefit may be less significant for lower income individuals who could potentially lose some of the earned income credit. No income tax on overtime pay. Under proposal made by Alabama State Senator Sam Gilhan and endorsed by Trump, employees who qualify for overtime by working more than 40 hours per week would not be subject to income tax on their overtime pay. The proposal was signed into law for Alabama state income tax purposes, but failed when it was introduced in the U.S. Senate. So, example, if enacted at the federal level, a 22% tax bracket worker who earns $64,000 of regular pay and earns an additional $24,000 in overtime pay, 10 hours per week times 50 weeks times $48 per hour, and then this time and a half rate, will avoid federal income tax of $5,280. So that's $24,000, 0.22% of the check. No tax on Social Security benefits, which is ridiculous. Why are you taxing Social Security benefits? Social Security is for people who can't afford to live without Social Security. So why are you taxing that? What? I'm sorry. Do you think that people are turning a profit on Social Security? Hello, McFly. Hello. No wonder these seniors be out here working. Trump promised to reverse the tax policies of Presidents Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush by eliminating the taxation of a beneficiary's taxable Social Security benefits, 85% of which may be taxable currently. Damn. Presumably, this would apply to recipients who are retirees, disabled, children, spouses, and former spouses, and surviving parents. Where do you think? Where do you think they're getting this money from? A single 75-year-old, 22% tax bracket retiree who receives $30,000 of Social Security benefits and has $100,000 of retirement investment in Social Security income will avoid income tax that would be owned under current law of $5,610. That's $30,000 times 85% over 0.22%. That's crazy. Oh Lord, here's the chart. Alex's tax obligations. That's wild. I'm not going through that. Should I skip all the way down to the good stuff? The additional possible business changes? Or should we go through it? Should we start at workers should incorporate? Like I'm 99% sure. All right, we'll start here. Should workers incorporate? We'll go through the article. We'll treat this like a real broadcast. Okay. Usually business owners form business entities to obtain the legal shield. However, as a result of the election, self-employed owners and employees with flexible employers may turn to business entities because of the unrestricted business deductions, fringe benefits, and more favorable tax rates due to the qualified business income deduction and the maximum of 21% corporate income tax rate compared to 37% for individuals. During the campaign, Trump discussed reducing the corporate tax rate from 21% to 20%, with potential further reduction to 15% for companies that manufacture products in the United States. The 15% rate would be created by reinstating a form of the domestic production activities deduction, DPAD, at 28.5%, 1 minus 0.28% times 0.21 equals 0.15. So that's how they got to that conclusion. But you know what? And what Trump is doing with these tariffs, you got American companies who produce their products overseas. They're coming back. So at least they would get, they're trying to get it down to a 15% rate. So they're trying to lower the tax rate, as an incentive to help come back and bring jobs back to the country, like grown man jobs. Stop paying these people 30 cents an hour to, make tires and all of this stuff, like in cars and car parts. Get your ass back over here at the snow tax. Get yourself back over here and pay these guys a living wage. And if they want a union, then they should be able to form a union. By the time I get all of this stuff done, you can go back to giving people pensions. Like I'm trying to bring the business back to where it benefits both you and the worker. So if you get somebody to drive a forklift in your factory for 25, 30 years, they get a gold watch and a check every month with benefits. Trying to bring that back. You should be able to afford it. By the time this tax plan that I got going, you should be able to do that and it not even hurt you because you'll have money. And these people are paying into their pensions All you got to do is just hold it. Just, pretty much like a bank. You hold the pension, let it collect dust, and then when they're done, just give them their money back in monthly balance. This is what your pension is. And then most companies like throw in half on the pot. Most guys who work in factories that long, they don't really make it to like their 70s. They'll be lucky to get to 75 because of all of the physical labor, like their bodies eventually will give out on them. All of that stress and tension will release, and then boom, you're done. Yeah, but this helps them. Okay, example, Alex, a single employee, earns $160,000, has $20,000 of unreimbursed business-related expenses, cell phone, internet, mileage, office supplies, and organizational dues, incurs $10,000 of expenses from working at home, and contributes $4,300 to a health savings account and $23,500 to a retirement account. If Alex's employer treats Alex as an independent contractor rather than an employee, Alex's tax obligations would change as follows. Alex's taxes as an employee, this is for Lyft drivers, or these are for people who do that type of stuff, Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, whatever. Alex's taxes as an employee would decrease by $6,202. That's $33,215 minus $27,013, or 19%, $6,200 to $33,215. By working as an independent contractor in $10,587, $33,2015 minus $22,628, or 32%, $10,587 over $33,215. If Alex takes the additional step of incorporating. Why do these differences occur? As an employee, Alex cannot deduct the employee-related expenses and home office deduction, and Alex is subject to FICA on the HSA and 401k contributions. Alex does have more income counting toward an eventual Social Security benefit, $160,000, compared to $120,055, 130k times 2.35%. Well, not percent. As a sole proprietor, and $65,000 as a corporate employee. Damn, I guess you delivering packages. You're an independent driver for UPS or FedEx or something. Let's see, operating, because sometimes they have that. They have people they'll be in their car delivering packages. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, trust me, you got a car, there's a job out there for you. You just got to go get it. Operating in the corporate form reduces taxes the most because the business expenses, home office expenses, health savings account contributions, and retirement contributions avoid income tax and FICA. For a sole proprietor, the health savings account and retirement contributions do not reduce the self-employment tax. There are dozens of additional benefits the corporation could offer that avoid FICA and income tax, including dependent care assistance, group term and split dollar life insurance, adopting assistance, and in the home fitness facility. Oh, okay. Home gym. Okay. Didn't know you could do that. All right. I guess it counts, it's like a healthcare thing or something. There are downsides to operating in the corporate form, including the compliance costs and the potential for double taxation. In the Alex example, the corporation accumulated $25,459, $32,227 minus $6,768. That was taxed at 21%. Damn. Rather than the 22% individual rate. The corporation could distribute this accumulation as a qualifying dividend at favorable capital gain rates, or if the corporation is sold after 5 years of operations. The gain from the sales could be excluded under section 1202. Yeah, that's for people who own like a delivery service or whatnot. All right. You know, individual stuff. I got a cousin down here. That's what he did. He owned his own courier service. You know, he had some vans out there working, boy. Yeah, some vans working. Let's see, additional possible business changes. Increase bonus depreciation back to 100%. Okay. Many businesses had become accustomed to immediately deducting the full cost of eligible capital investment. Bonus depreciation for 2024 was 60% of the asset's cost, which drops to 40% for 2025. Under Trump's proposal, 100% bonus depreciation would be restored, allowing businesses to reduce their taxable income by 100% of new equipment purchases and other qualifying items. Right, remember, the companies are coming back. He giving them all types of tax breaks. You know what I'm saying? He bringing jobs back. People are losing jobs. Like, hey, it's gonna get worse. We'll get better. Like, trust me, jobs are coming back. If we sat up there and we watched this energy conference, like they getting ready to, if you know how to weld or do some type of construction down in Louisiana, they hiring. You know, these are like guys with government contracts. And Trump is not going to cheat this out. Like, when does he ever cheat something out? So I was surprised that his private plane industry fell. Took a look inside them private planes. Those things were beautiful. They were beautiful. And the only reason I can come up with as to why it fell is because the people that's supposed to be of his financial situation, you know, rich folks, because that private airline was definitely for rich folks. That sucker was beautiful. Them planes was beautiful. Had beds in them and everything. I mean, it was just office space. I mean, it was beautiful. It was luxurious. Had everything you needed. If you was flying overseas, 19-hour flight on a private jet, please. It was a bedroom and an office. It was pretty much like a nice little house in the sky. Private jet. It was beautiful. Was that they hated them. So the business flop. It was a concerted effort to drive him out of the market. That's one of his businesses that failed. Like one of the biggest ones. And I was like, damn, the only reason why they did you dirty like that is because you pissed them off. You pissed off your own class, your own financial class. You pissed them off. So they're not touching your stuff. All right. Research and developing expensing. Currently, businesses must capitalize expenditures for research and development, R&D, and amortize the cost over 5 years. Prior to 2022, R&D costs could be expensed as incurred. Trump discussed eliminating the requirement to capitalize the R&D expenses, thus allowing the expenses to be deducted immediately. Let's see. The business interest expense deduction limited. Oh my God, where's that thing? Like, we didn't really come here for that. That's not what I clicked on. At any rate, the business interest expense deduction limitation generally restricts the deductibility of net business interest expense to 30% of a taxpayer's adjusted taxable income. The calculation of adjusted taxable income is currently made after deducting depreciation. Trump's proposal would allow depreciation to be added back to adjusted taxable income in making the calculation, as the calculation was done before 2022. So keep your eyes on Congress. With Republican control of Congress, Trump's tax agenda could be enacted as soon as 2025. Let's see here. I was there. Okay, let's go. Let's see. A lot of what we just read. Okay, here we go. All right. So Oh, okay. So this is somebody that's anti-Trump. All right, they're anti-Trump, but we'll read it anyway because we're smart enough to read between the lines. On the other hand, some of his tax proposals are poorly designed and would worsen the structure of the tax code while only creating a muted impact on long run economic growth, such as the exemptions for tips and Social Security income. Worse yet, Trump's reliance on import tariffs to offset the cost of tax cuts comes with major downsides. Tariffs are a particularly distortive way to raise revenue. No, it's not, because it's solid revenue. This is your tax percentage of your, your imports and ours of the exports, whatever. How are we only going to do it? It's either 100% or, we work out a deal. It's either 100% or 50%. How you want to do it? How you want to do it? Yeah, we figured you take 50. Just let us know what you want to trade in. What do you need? Maybe we can help. Baby, yeah, we selling everything. We selling everything. You want some illegals? We'll pay you to house them. We'll pay you the equivalent of $28,000 a prisoner in your money, which for us would be what, $800? Oh yeah, here. We'll even build the prisons. Anyway, we estimate Trump's proposal tariffs and partial retaliation from all trading partners would together offset more than 2/3 of the long-run economic benefit of his proposed tax cuts. These people are funny. As with any economic model, ours does not capture all the possible effects of the proposed tax and tariff policies, such as changes in compliance costs, the geopolitical implications of further trade wars, the impact of different tax burdens on different sectors and types of investments, or how uncertainty affects economic decision making. Yeah, that's a nice way of trying to cover your tail because you're going to be wrong. Our estimates illustrate that Trump's proposed tariffs threaten to offset much of the economic benefits of his proposed tax policy changes, and of those proposed tax policy changes, many move in the opposite direction of simple, pro-growth, and fiscally responsible tax reform. Like, how is that? If you're pulling in more money from exports, and they're paying more money for imports, if you can 50-50 it, let me tell you something. Our people will buy your stuff, but you're probably going to wind up coming. But your people are definitely going to buy our stuff, and we're not coming down on our prices. But here in America, you're going to have to come down on your prices in order to compete. See, this is what people kind of. Maybe. Yeah, he got confirmed. That's what we led with. That's why I was saying this on and popping. That's why, yes, Trump is a dictator, but this is why, the type of dictator that he is. This is what I'm explaining. I mean, to be honest, you're going to have to come down on your prices on your goods and services that you sell here in the United States, because with us bringing business back, let me tell you something. It's all about competitive pricing. And, it's like a gas station. If you got two gas stations on the corner and one is selling unleaded at $2.95 and the other one across the street are selling it at $3.06, where the hell you think I'm going? Where the hell you think I'm going? Yeah, I probably won't consume as much profit as I should immediately, but if I just conserve, stay on the good page, just keep the pumps running, eventually I can expand. Put in a nice little deli shop over there, whatnot, get a Subway or a big Jersey Mike's or something, little wing spot. Yeah, I rent that out to them. I'm good. renting them out to them will make sure that I have a permanent source of income. Well, as long as they're there. And every time I look out there, their parking lot always have an exchange of cars and foot traffic. So I know they're good on rent. Yeah, they're going to go to the cheaper gas station. So if you have exports coming here to America and people here in the United States, because we have the resources, to copy your product and sell it ourselves. This is the problem with like knockoffs. We can copy your product and sell it ourselves. I think we have a better chance of having you lower your price through legal alternative products that we won't call knockoffs because they got a patent. They can legally sell it in stores, not on the street corner of New York in a getaway bag. They tie the fork, they have it on the blankets. They have ropes on all four corners, and then the police come, they yank it up. All the products in the blanket, and then they just walk away. Or jog away. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not doing that. And if I sell it for like maybe $1 or $2, even $5 cheaper than what you're selling it for, my product's going to sell. Especially if I add something to the design that you missed, for legalities. Yeah, I got you. People going to buy my product. You're going to have to come down on your price. Or you can stick with your price and act like, well, we're the original. Like, yeah, well, theirs have more flair. You get people who are purists who see your bag as like a fashion statement, but the majority of people, they're going to buy the cheaper bag. So you lose money. You lose money to other customers who can get a better version of your product or a different version of your product at a cheaper price. That's what tariffs do to countries when it comes to price. America, you can set the price because you have the resources to sell at a cheaper rate. They don't have the money and resources to do it in other places, at least not to the extent where the quality is up to par. At any rate, or they're paying 100%. So we'll see what happens with that. That's good dictatorship. You make people pay their money. You understand? It's just like being a mob boss. Your capos and everybody that got to kick up to you. Yo, I need this much per month out of you, or else somehow I got to have this money. There's going to be a problem. That's all this business is with tariffs. You better have my money. Don't make us come talk to you. We're not cutting that much of the military budget. Don't make us come talk to you. We're getting a surge in new recruits. Don't make us come talk to you. The cartel, they just sent drones. This was funny. They sent drones on the scouting mission of the cartel down in Mexico. The U.S. sent drones on scouting missions. I mean, if you're a military person, you already know what comes next. It's peaceful surrender. Like, why? You people, hey, we're giving you a chance for peaceful surrender. Please don't make us come get you. You know that's next. That is next. And they're seeing what these drones are doing to people in Ukraine. I mean, the field test results are amazing. It's keeping Russia from advancing further into Ukraine. The field tests are amazing. These things, they turn everything into hamburger helper. You wonder why there's all those deaths? Why Russia is losing soldiers or whatnot? Yeah, them drones are eating those people up. Yep, and it's not costing you the life of not one U.S. soldier. I think they'll wind up bombarding the cartel with drone strikes until they eventually either give up or there's nobody left. Because they're the ones that's pushing the drugs and the sex trafficking into the country. So, and the weapons and smuggling in the terrorists or whatnot and other people, in the whole coyote situation where they kill people or sex traffic people who don't have the money. Or they leave them to die in the desert. I mean, just crazy stuff. Oh my God. Yeah, we're going to wipe those dudes out. That's coming. That's going to be fun because it's going to be something that they're going to have to deal with on American soil too. But that's why they're getting all the dangerous criminals off the streets. You damn right he's a dictator. You damn right he's a dictator. No more men in women's spaces. You damn right he's a dictator. Take all that rainbow flag stuff down out of these schools. You're not here to learn. Little Timmy is not here to learn how to enjoy anal sex and wear dress. He's here to learn his ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. What is this drag time story hour for children? Are you nuts? Have you seen a drag show? You're doing that in front of children? Well, he's not going to pull his willy out. I don't give a damn. So one video they giving, it was supposedly a safe drag show for kids. Little girl looked like she's about 6 years old. They put money in her hand, walked her on the stage. Then the dude did a twirl on the pole and had her put money in his underwear or whatever. Drag time story hour, strip pole story hour, whatever the hell. The hell out of here, man. Shit is wild. Parents don't want that stuff. It was arresting parents for reading out loud the porno books that was in the school libraries, talking about how to breathe during anal sex and all of this stuff. And it's okay if you do it with somebody that's older. Like, what? These were in the books, man. You goddamn right he's a dictator. Y'all want to know why? What's that dude's name? Not Gavin Newsom, the dude down in Florida. Dang it, I can picture his face, and we was just talking about him too. The governor of Ron DeSantis. You wonder why Ron DeSantis took all the books off the shelves? Oh, he took all the books off the shelves. Yeah, because he made them comb through all them books and take stuff like that out of those children's libraries. Like, it better not have been a hint of that in not one book. Like, we're not here to, this isn't gender studies 101. I'm not going to groom these kids starting in kindergarten. Then when they get in junior high school, and go through puberty, have some guidance counselor tell them, well, you're just born in the wrong body. Because, everybody that goes through puberty has aches and pains. I mean, your body is developing. But you telling kids that they were born in the wrong body, and then the American Medical Association did not care about performing sex changes on people under the age of 18. And they were doing it too. Sterilizing them. They were sterilizing children, destroying their lives. The detransitioner stories are horror, or I mean, you goddamn right. We have a dictator that kicked your pervert ass out of women's locker rooms and bathrooms, run around just because you put on a wig and some lipstick, a skirt, and high heels. Don't mean that you're a chick, bruh. Stop it. Nobody's playing that game with you. You goddamn right. Stuff like that had to stop. How you 6'5", claiming to be a woman? I mean, you towering almost a whole human over the females you're competing against, and hold your head up high when you beat them in swimming. You don't feel like no damn woman. Ginger. No, like quit it. You goddamn right, he's a dictator. He put a stop to all of that. He put a stop to all of that. Right. Oh, back to the tax plan. All right, so Trump has suggested a wide variety of tax tariff proposals and frequently proposes new ideas on the campaign trail. Sorry, I got no spider web moment. For this update of our details and analysis on Trump's tax policies, we model the following major proposals, effective beginning January 1st, 2025, unless otherwise stated, making the individual TCJ expirations permanent except for the cap on salt, effective January 1st, 2026. Rates and brackets, standard deduction. What's that? Okay. Personal exemption, child tax credit, and other dependent tax credit, limitation on itemized deductions, including salt, and elimination of piece limitation, ATM changes. Oh, AMT, excuse me. AMT changes. Like what? Section 199A pass-through deduction and non-corporate loss limitation, making the TCJ estate tax changes permanent, effective January 1st, 2026. Restoring the TCJ business and tax provisions, effective same date, January 1st, 2026. 100% bonus depreciation, R&D expensing. Dude, will you just give me what I need to know? Okay, so they're looking to increase the child tax credit to $5,000. So if you paying child support, you know you get to file the kid on your taxes, right? But if you're not getting child support, then you can file the kid on your taxes. Yeah, some weird whole math they got to do. So they said they excluded from their formal modeling an idea floated by Vice President J.D. Vance to increase the child tax credit to $5,000. As the campaign does not confirm support of the proposal, as well as Trump's recent proposal to end double taxation of Americans abroad. Though we include the potential costs of both policies in our range of potential budgetary estimates below, we also exclude the proposal to create a tax credit for family caregivers, as the campaign does not specify the design. Well, that's why you're supposed to that's why you're supposed to create one. Like, well, this is what it would look like if they did this, and then you show it and be like, this is, not the real thing. Okay, so these are the economic effects of Trump's tax proposal. So your gross domestic product will be, you'll pay 0.8% and your what's that, gross national product would be 0.1%. Your capital stock would be 1.7%. The tax on your wages will be 0.8%. Full-time equivalent employment at $597,000. Jesus Christ. You gonna be working on them oil rigs? Baseline debt to gross domestic product ratio by 2065. He want to get it up to 201.2%. And conventional debt to gross domestic product ratio by 2065. He want to get it up to 223.1%. And the dynamic debt to gross domestic product ratio by 2065 by 217%. So that wages one at 0.8%, because I mean, you're not going to be able to get rid of all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you still going to have to pay state tax. So if that's what it is, I mean, that's pretty good. But we trying to see if they trying to get that 15,000 back. I know we all off track. That's because of me. Hold on. Bam. I was not reading all this. But, you know, as much as they talking crap about it, about his tax plan, the numbers look pretty good. All right, so it's not there. We were lied to. Let's see here. All right, let's see here.
Ever wondered what life would be like without income taxes? Trump's promise to eliminate taxes on tips has raised eyebrows. But it
Okay, here we go. Let's do that.
Bessent is also sounding the alarm on what he calls an impending economic calamity. He is urging lawmakers to extend key provisions of the Trump Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The stakes, of course, couldn't be higher. Millions of jobs, billions in lost wages could be lost if the tax cuts expire in December. And Republicans are mobilizing. Speaking at the GOP retreat in Florida, President Trump doubled down on his message: cut taxes for the American people. He even floated the idea of abolishing the federal income tax altogether.
You know, the United States in 1870 to 1913, all tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States. The income tax came in 1913. As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens.
The president says that he plans to impose tariffs on a list of imports: steel, aluminum, copper, computer chips, semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, all to boost domestic production. This is a very aggressive economic agenda, but it's also really exciting also. Let's just keep with the tariffs for a moment, since that's where we ended. This is a strategy, Brian, that he tried previously. They weren't able to see it through in the last administration. It's one that takes time. He's going back to do it again.
Well, he's loves tariffs. Tariffs, I think, is his favorite word in the dictionary, he said. Not surprising that he's talking about doing a universal tariff. But I love Kevin Hassett. I think he's my favorite economic guy in the administration, the happy warrior. And he makes such a good point. He says, when these guys talk about tariffs, they ignore all the other.
All right. Let's get to this. White House addresses possible taxpayer checks from Doge savings. All right.
Across the country that reached up to 60 million viewers and listeners. In our ongoing pursuit of transparency on this 1 month celebration, I am thrilled to bring 3 of my colleagues and our policy experts here at the White House to further recap this incredible first month of accomplishments in greater detail. We have Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, the Director of the National Economic Council, Kevin Hassett, and our National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz. I will hand it over to them. They will deliver brief remarks on the accomplishments of this administration in the first month, and then we will open it up to Q&A. When we open up the Q&A portion, I do ask, for the sake of efficiency in this room, that you direct your question to the principal you seek an answer from, and I will call on you in this room. But first, I will let them roll through their remarks. And first up, I'll turn it over to Stephen Miller.
Thank you. It's great to be back. And I want to just thank you all for joining today, our 1-month celebration of the most historic opening to a presidency in American history. No president comes close to what Donald Trump has achieved over just the last 30 days. He has packed 8 years of transformative action, restoring this nation, restoring our laws, restoring fairness, restoring economic opportunity, restoring national security in just 1 month. No one in this country has ever seen anything like it. And when you look at the consequentiality and the significance and the transformative nature of the actions he's taking, it truly defies description. For example, in just one area, this nation has been plagued and crippled by illegal discrimination, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. It's strangled our economy. It has undermined public safety. It has made every aspect of life more difficult,
All the
more
makings of
painful,
a dictatorship.
and less safe. He has ended all DEI across the federal government. He has terminated all federal workers involved in promulgating these unlawful policies. He has ended diversity, equity, and inclusion in all federal contracting. He has restored merit as the cornerstone of all federal policy, restored the full, fair, impartial enforcement of our federal civil rights laws for the first time in generations.
Okay.
And he has cracked down on individuals across this government and nonprofits who have engaged in illegal racial discrimination against the American people. This includes making clear to every educational institution in this country that ending diversity, equity, and inclusion, ending unlawful race discrimination is a precondition of receiving federal funds. He has also saved women's sports by ending the participation of men in women's sports.
Man, very
he has
active
ended
comment.
radical gender ideology
Very active.
across the entire
Yeah,
federal
somebody's done
government,
a good
and he's
time
pressured the
playing somewhere.
private sector to also end and combat radical gender ideology. He's reestablished the scientific and biological truth that there are only 2 sexes in this
All right,
country.
you know what?
male
I'll
and
just have to
female,
do it the old-fashioned way.
that those are biologically based determinations. They're not based and can never be based on gender identity.
That went
That
down
includes
deep.
rooting out of the Department of Congress. This is a sea change in U.S. policy. And this means that.
But the 10-year Treasury before the last consumer price index had dropped about 40 basis points. 40 basis points because markets were optimistic about our ability to fight inflation. 40 basis points is kind of not a fun thing to say. Economists talk that way. I apologize. But the way to think about it is, for a typical mortgage, if that affects the mortgage rate, then it's going to save a typical family buying a house about $1,000 a year. And that's just in our first month. Okay. The second thing we've done is we've had a lot of trade talks. In fact, I was just meeting a minister from Mexico with Howard Lutnick just a couple of hours ago. And we're talking about reciprocal trade, and we're also talking about the fentanyl crisis. And so reciprocal trade is about our government treating other governments the way they treat us. We want trade to be fair. It turns out that Americans have been disadvantaged by foreign governments over and over, and President Trump wants it to stop. And the fact that struck me as most noticeable when I started to look at what President Trump was asking us to do is that last year we have data, U.S. companies paid $370 billion in taxes to foreign governments. $370 billion. Last year, foreign multinationals paid us $57 billion in taxes. We have 1/4 of world GDP. They have 3/4 of world GDP, and we're paying 370. They're paying 57. This is not reciprocal. We're going to try, or we're going to fix it. The other thing that we've done is we've had an all of the above energy approach that's led by Doug Burgum and Chris and a really large team, EPA. And we've already made so many actions that are going to affect the price of energy and lower inflation. We've opened up 625 million acres to energy exploration. We've cut 50 years of red tape that makes it so you can't have permits. And we've even made it so that when you go home, if you get a new one, then you can take a shower or flush a toilet or read under a light bulb. We're doing that too. So finally, let's just think about like the facts that we can see right now that we think are awesome. So guess what? Small business optimism has gone up by the most ever since President Trump came in. ISM, which is the measure of what's going on in manufacturing, it's expanding again for the first time in years. CEO confidence is the highest it's been in years. And the reason people are thinking this is that our policies give people cause for optimism. And then I want to reiterate what Stephen Miller said, because it's so important, and it's so important for financial markets to start to digest this, that if, say, the Treasury Secretary or any cabinet secretary with Elon Musk is able to find some savings, say $100 billion, well, in CBO land, that's actually like about 10 times that, or maybe 12 times that over a 10-year window. And so when you're thinking about the negotiations right now over reconciliation and thinking about, well, 4 trillion, 5 trillion, well, those numbers in terms of the savings are going to end up being small because of all the waste that we're finding. And so we're incredibly optimistic about the future of inflation and the future of our economy. And we're optimistic because we're making so much progress so far, and we already see it in market prices. And with that, I'll hand it off to Mike.
Thanks, well, good afternoon.
Before you say that, somebody said concerning businesses coming back, understand, in order for businesses to thrive, you have to have customers. In order to have customers, you have to safely be able to display your products with no problem. One of the biggest things that caused a lot of businesses to go under the past couple of years has been crime, theft being the main issue here, because anything under $1,000 was not considered an arrestable offense. They would give you like a bench ticket, a bench appearance ticket or whatnot, and a lot of people wouldn't even bother to show up to their bench appearances, and of course they never sent anybody out to arrest them on their bench appearances. You can even like if you have a warrant and they run up on you, then maybe, but still they'll just give you another bench ticket to appear, before the warrant, especially if it was something like petty crime or whatnot. So you have a bunch of people who have all these shoplifting charges, but not actually going before a judge. Remember the video with the 2 girls stealing, and the one girl was like, well, this is Orange County. Like, yeah, last time I was out here, I was locked up for a year. You're going to have a lot of that going on now that Kash Patel is in office and he starts comprising of his team. Trust me, they're going to be charging mayors and governors with crimes. You understand? You need to have the FBI investigate these people. It's Kash Patel. If you've ever heard him talk, that dude talks just like Trump. Everybody that he's hired talk or think just like he's doing. Yes, he is a dictator. But all these people with these failure to appears and whatnot, yeah, this is where they're going to say that, oh, he's racist towards black people, is when all of these people with these tickets who just happen to be black will be getting arrested. They'll be hunted down in the streets. Trust me, as soon as they get a change of leadership, because you got to clean out the rot, and the people that's the rot that's in your way are Democratic leadership. I mean, look at what's going on with Brandon Johnson in Chicago and Gavin Newsom. Look at what's going on. Don't nobody say nothing bad about what's our governor here, Kemp. Don't nobody say nothing bad about Kemp. Don't nobody say can't or hasn't said anything bad about what's the name down there, Ron DeSantis. A lot of these people, their governors aren't on TV, being questioned about a colossal screw up. They're on TV holding press conferences telling each other what they've done for the people in their state. on some Sheriff Grady type stuff. That's what you're getting from government. In order to be able to do the hunting down, you're going to have to get the bleeding heart liberal out of your way. The only way you're going to do that is by doing the paper trail on their money, because you knew they took money. You have more in your bank account than what you make on a yearly basis, and you obtain a lot of it very quickly. All we got to do really is just go through the FBI tip line, just for starters. But we'll just run an audit on your books, and we'll see what's up with you. And what you'll get if you get another Democrat, you'll get a Democrat that's willing to play ball with the Republican Party. Be like, look, do you want us to clean up the streets? Do you want to go down as a mayor, a two-term mayor, one who cleaned up the streets, and then the second year, with all of the money coming in, you're going to streamline your social services and everything. Mayor, the jobs and cleanup mayor. Clean house 2026. You can be a Democrat, but you need to be a Democrat for the people. We'll give you funding. All you got to do is just play ball. Yeah, we call that the Eric Adams. We need you to pull an Eric Adams. Can you do that? Cool. We won't run against you. You'll run unopposed. You're the deputy mayor. You're up for election. Yeah, you'll run unopposed. We will not put up a candidate against you unless we feel that you're too weak. We feel that you can't do the job. But either way, it's a win-win for us. And then they'll start locking up all those people with all those warrants, all those bench warrants. And black people will say that it's racism. Oh, you criminalized us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, dude, you're on tape. We got like all types of body cam and CCTV footage and whatnot. I mean, come on. These guys be meatballing all in the middle of the action. Yeah, steal it all. Running with a box of Nikes under his arm, filming himself with the stolen merchandise. Yeah, I got this new J11. Oh, God. No wonder why he getting a knock on the door. Shouldn't have never shot at him. Trust me, he gonna clean this country up, and people gonna really call him a dictator. But do understand, you brought this on yourself. The reason why you get dictators is because of lawlessness and disorder. Because what does a dictator do but bring their version, their brand of law and order to the kingdom? Like Zelensky. I can tell you right now, them peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, Russia and United States on behalf of Ukraine, is going to be how much they're going to divvy up of his land and his resources. Who gets what? And they'll, of course, give Ukraine a taste because it is their stuff. And knowing Russia with how they're running their BRICS program, it'll probably be a three-way split. If it means more money in America's pocket than what they were already getting, it'll be a three-way split. Because, America's got to come out on top. Or at least 50-50. It'll be a three-way split. And it'll probably be more money than Ukraine was getting before Russia invaded. Because they weren't getting anything. Because they weren't mining the stuff. And those that they were mining, they weren't getting their fair share of it. So it'll be a three-way split. There'll be more money than what they were getting. This is why the UK wanted to be in on the peace talks. And Russia and the United States looked at the UK like, bruh, You can talk to Ukraine after we're done talking. Matter of fact, you can talk to them now. But you're not sitting in on this. You're not who you think you are. You're not the big brother of Western countries anymore. All them countries under the crown that you used to control. I mean, come on. You guys need to follow the United States lead now, not from last year, but now, this year. You need to follow what they're doing. Didn't you hear them say that they're not going to protect you anymore? You and Ukraine. We're making the money deal, and then that's it. It'll be set in stone. That's why Zelensky called himself mad. Shit, the United States, no, there's a snowman tax. Even said that they were going to run an audit on you, bro. United States, hey, Zelensky, yeah. You thought you were getting bad? Yeah, the United States about to run an audit on you, bro. I hope they find millions of missing pennies. I'm talking billions of missing pennies. I hope they find that. I hope they find that, because there's a president in office that is very law and orderly. He is a dictator. You understand? He will throw you in prison. Act like he won't. You'll definitely be deposed. You will not be the leader of Ukraine for your own good. Or better yet, they might just leave you to us, because the fighting will be over. I mean, you'll be fighting, but I don't know. You won't be fighting with U.S. weaponry. They're going to take that stuff back or dismantle it. Or maybe they'll let you keep it. You don't know how to repair it, and you won't be getting any more. You'll be UK's problem, since they want in on it so bad. You'll be the UK's problem. Get your weaponry and money to siphon off of from the UK. Unless you pay us, you're done. You're done, because we're done. We're making budget cuts over here. We don't have time for this BS that you're doing. The deal has been made. You're the one violating the agreement, not us. You and the UK. Don't mess with our money. I can tell you that much. Yeah, you damn right he's a dictator. A smart one. I mean, you can hate him all you want to, but the one thing you do know is that the man knows his business. We all used to watch The Apprentice. Get fired. We all used to watch that. He wasn't a racist till he ran for president. Anyway, no, the Democratic Party, they're about to be gutted. Their old leadership is about to be gutted. They're about to be gutted out. That new leadership that's coming up behind them. Oh my God. Like I said, they better get on the winning team. You damn right he's a dictator. Get on the winning team. If you want to fight for anybody, fight for the people who are needy, not the greedy. Fight for the needy, not the greedy. The sick and the elderly. You know what I'm saying? You should push through for a tax plan that eliminates taxes and people having to pay for healthcare, where you get a top-notch healthcare system. You want to write a government plan, a healthcare plan that covers everybody. Well, here, Democrats, new Democrats, you write it. You tell us. You take a poll from the American people. Find out what they want covered and what the average cost is, and then get back to us. Get back to us with it. We'll go over it and we'll approve some things. Some things we'll talk about. We'll see. New Democratic leadership. And we'll see what we can do. And we'll improve America's healthcare system under RFK Jr. taking all the drugs and chemicals out of the food, unnecessary drugs and chemicals out of the food, trying to bring down healthcare costs. People aren't getting sick anymore from eating all of these additives and preservatives that aren't needed in our food. That's ridiculous to see side-by-side comparisons of the ingredients and products that are sold here in the U.S. and in other places outside the U.S. I mean, again, we've got like a whole thumb of ingredients while they just got like the tip of a pinky. It's ridiculous. Yeah, you take that out of the food, people will be eating a lot more healthier, which of course, lessens the strain on the healthcare industry, because that's what they're trying to do. And then that way you can get drug costs down because the demand won't be so high, because it's a supply and demand situation. If there's less demand, then you're not going to charge a premium, so your prices come down. Simple as that. That way you can have a free American healthcare system backed up by the ERS. If you're paying a 0.8%, that's like really like what, Social Security, your backup, whatever. Who knows? But there's definitely more money in your pocket. More money in your pocket. I mean, it's so simple, it's stupid. It's so simple, it's stupid. And the ERS is almost set. That's the beauty of it. It's almost set. I haven't heard really any countries bucking back. Or a lot of countries that I've heard so far have agreed. They say one thing one day, and then the next day they're doing it. Mexico, Canada, for instance. Next day they're agreeing. Because they know it's not fair, but still, eventually the market will reset itself at a lower price. So I wouldn't even really fret about it. Now that you have production coming back to America, it'll be at a lower price because the Americans will sell it at a lower price because they don't have any taxes to pay on it. They don't have any taxes to pay on it, so they can sell it at a lower price, which means in order for them to compete, the tariffs, they're going to have to lower what they normally get in tariffs, which will lower it for the United States if we do a 50-50. So prices will eventually balance and come down all over the globe because of supply and demand. That's the one positive that they don't really talk about concerning tariffs, is how they eventually work out in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Everything is fair in the long run. Yeah, that's a dictator move right there, especially if you're winning the House and the Senate and you can win in the Supreme Court like that. I mean, what type of resistance are you really putting up? You stalled out the Cash Patel vote because you tried your best to turn over some Republicans and it didn't work. You lost. That's why, Jasmine Sullivan, Jasmine Crockett, we just need 3 seats. 2 of them are in deep red Florida. Girl, if you don't get the hell up out of here. You get the hell up out of here. What was that third one? Let me guess. That was in a red state too? Oh, no. She said a couple of them are in Georgia. I'm like, I guarantee you're going to lose those seats in Georgia. You're going to lose these seats in Georgia. If you got some Democratic leaders that's still out here talking all that DEI and race crap and trans rights, if you got them still running around screaming that from a daggone podium, Meanwhile, you got all these people who have better things to do standing outside cheering somebody on, almost like they're paid actors to be there, who are actually at home watching the news and other news sources, seeing stuff on social media, reading stuff, having proof, and they're like shutting the hell up in arguments because the proof is there. They're like, damn. Like, really? Like, this for real? Like, yeah, like, that's for real. Shows like this, they wind up getting into it or whatnot. All The View does is insult and talk stupid because, they talking with a female's mouth, and not to diss all females, but some women like The View. I mean, they just haters. You know what I'm saying? They just haters. Old bitty, bitter haters. They just hate him. We hate Donald Trump and Elon Musk. So we're going to say a bunch of mean things and mock and ridicule the things that they say because, we hate Elon Musk. I mean, that's all that show is. It's trash. Trash TV for bitter betties. I mean, look at it. You got Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is a star over at CNN. He's a Republican or right-wing star on CNN because he be roasting them folks. They be talking all that DEI and trans stuff and whatnot. And I was the lowest paid black woman there. I was discriminated against. Oh, yeah? Who was president when you worked at the White House? Obama. Well, why are you complaining to us? Why don't you say something to him? Ain't that supposed to be y'all presidential Lord and Savior? Like, what? Why did you say something to him saying you was the head of the department, but you was the lowest paid? Did you ever complain to anybody? Or did you just wait until you got on TV right now? I'm like, good Lord. Carrie Champion admitting that she was a DEI hire, and the only reason why she was in school is because of affirmative action. And it's like, well, what are you doing for a job now, Carrie Champion? I said, what are you doing for a job now, Carrie Champion? Who gives you money to talk? Because they keep pushing your podcast, and we went to your podcast, and good Lord, I mean, I thought my numbers were bad. For somebody that's supposed to be of your quote unquote stature, I mean, yours is like, I pity you. I mean, this is a brand new channel without, being advertised on CNN. Like, yes, come to the Common Sense channel on YouTube. I mean, I don't have hundreds of thousands of people hearing that on the national news network. I mean, your numbers are just terrible. Maybe you shouldn't be dancing at some sister girl comments, you think? But that's why the only thing they can attach to you that's big where they can find you is your podcast instead of, a TV show or something like that. And now you're doing politics. At least we know that Sage Steele was always right wing with the things that she was saying. At least we knew that. So her getting a credentialed job at the White House or seen as legitimate news reporter, I mean, that's not surprising. But yeah, Scott Jennings is a star over there. And as I posted earlier today, I'm talking about new Democratic leadership. I posted a video where the Democrats were looking to change their strategy. They were looking to change their strategy in the media. And they were some people were suggesting that they need to come over to like Fox News or whatnot, or, conservative news outlets, and then talk, explain to them what they're trying to do. And maybe they can win over Republican voters. Maybe some of them have a heart. We can, sad violin them into some money or some support. But Jasmine Crockett was against it. And she was saying them folks is going to believe what they're going to believe over there, you know, what she called a bunch of BS. And it's like, you mean like how they feed you on CNN? Nothing but a bunch of BS. I mean, Jesus Christ. You were calling the guy Hitler. Like, trust me, throwing illegal criminal migrants out of the country, not just Hispanics, but Asians and Indians and Haitians and whatnot, everybody's got to go. But y'all just focus on the Hispanics because they're your cheap labor force. Everybody else, like Indians, Africans, and Asians, they come here and work for each other. They don't spread out. They don't do cheap manual labor for the white man. Hispanics do that because that's what you were crying about. Talking about some picking fruits and vegetables. They don't pick fruits and vegetables anymore. They have machines that do that now. Jose opened up a taco truck right outside your factory to make a nice little living. Or he's, you know, a roofer or a gardener. You know, the jobs that you were attributing to. Wait until these white women realize they can't get a mango chocolate berry smoothie. Do you hear yourself? Your nannies, you know what I'm saying? Your housekeepers, all that stuff. The one, I think he was from Massachusetts, talking about some hiding his illegal immigrant housekeeper in his garage. Like, dude, you really said that on TV? You do know Tom Homan gets asked these questions and he addresses them, right? Because he certainly did say the dude, like, well, if that's what you're doing, that's unfortunate. But trust me, when we come together, you best not get in the way. Because we will arrest you too for harboring, you know, a fugitive. An illegal alien. Like, I'm not playing with you. Like, but thank you for, if we ever decide to come get her, we know exactly where to look. Appreciate that, bruh. Very stupid. I mean, if you want to compare Trump to the funny mustache guy with this being his Holocaust, then, I mean, you go right ahead. At least nobody's dying. But, you know, America is for the Americans and others who are here legally. You need to be vetted. We're not here to add to the crime statistics. We're here to lower them. That's why you got to be vetted. It's a damn shame it takes 10 years to get your citizenship, though, or sometimes asylum. But, I mean, they're going to work on that. They're going to work on that. You got to get them out first. That'll probably be around the time, because I know he wanted to work on it before he left office. That's why he's upset about the numbers of deportations that are going on a daily basis or whatever. He wants more. Because more than likely, he probably wants to enact new immigration laws before he leaves office, which he can still do, but I guess he wanted under control in the United States to where you have it to where people who are here, they've been here 20 years or whatnot, illegally, but they don't have a criminal record. Make it easier on them. Make it easier on them to go ahead and apply for citizenship, in a green card or whatnot. And anybody that's here legally, if they sign up for selective service and do at least about 2 to 4 years, I would say 4 years of military duty, be it peace or wartime, when you come out, you get full American citizenship. You still would have to pass the test. You know, you still have to study and pass the test, but it would definitely give you some leeway with getting your American citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's the most humane thing to do. But he probably won't get a chance to do that. J.D. Vance would have to come up with that as a bill. He would have to propose that bill, which I don't think anybody would disagree with. You know, you want the mass deportations to stop. Well, this is how you know, at least keep it down to the criminal element, the ones you really don't want here. You know, I mean, because think about it. Why would you come here and work 20, 30 years without incident? Like, you left your home country for a better life in America, but you know that the process of, you know, getting your papers or whatnot take too long. So if you can fly under the radar doing odd jobs and whatnot that pay you out a living, like roofing or gardening or something like that, you know, especially now that we have Cash App and Venmo and Zelle, oh my God, the job's a whole lot easier to, you know, get you a little fake bank account or whatever and just funnel money into it. Oh, hell, you ain't even got to do that. You just keep the money on your app. Though I suggest you don't do that because Cash App is known for like killing your account with thousands of dollars in it, and they just take your money. You don't get access to it at all. They steal your money from you. Yeah, Cash App is known for that. So they say it's a fraudulent account. But I haven't heard of Zelle or Venmo doing that. So at any rate, yeah, like those are people who are normally seeking asylum, but you know, they can't necessarily wait on the process. So, you know, like, hey, since you did this, we're not just gonna kick you out the country. You know, that would be unfair. Let's just be honest. That would be unfair because you're going back to nothing. Whatever you walked away from, I'm pretty sure after 20 years, it doesn't exist anymore. So let's be fair. You say ask Dr. Umar about getting his Cash App deleted. Yeah, I've seen the Lennon Horner videos. He's stuck with PayPal now. And trust me, people are already trying to have them write PayPal for saying that he's committing a fraud and a scam. That he's defrauding and scamming people through PayPal. Because let me tell you right now, the only way, I mean, just to speak on that whole situation right there. I don't hate Dr. Umar, but I do think that what he's doing is very outdated. Like, he's doing what we used to do back in the 90s. With all these building funds, you know, all these building funds. The Perfect Church had one. Shrine of the Black Mandala had one. The Hebrew Pimp You Rights, they had one. You know, everybody had a building fund in order to get their coat to donate money. You know, I mean, look at what's the name? Polite. You know, he was trying to do the fake real estate fund with the shipping container housings. You know, up in Columbus, he was trying to fake with that. You know, and they was also selling that sovereignty paperwork for thousands of dollars. And I'm sitting up here like, man, that stuff don't work. Trust me, we did that in the 90s. That stuff don't work. And then, of course, you saw everybody getting suplexed and arrested, talking about I'm a sovereign citizen. You know, that's why that girl, not Karen Steffens, that's Superhead. But, you know, the chick in Maryland, I forget her name, the one that got gunned down. She had the 2 babies in the car with, what's the name of that? With supposed Moorish plates or sovereign citizen plates, but it was really some stuff scribbled on cardboard. Yeah, then you got the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I mean, you say most recently, Boyce Watkins and his homeboy with that real estate. Oh yeah, let's see, 30-year building funds and not one single building built. Right. And mess around there. Getting back to Umar though, but I mean, there's plenty of examples. I'm just laying them out where he rushed to buy a school that he supposedly spent $400,000 on, when he could have came down here to Atlanta and bought a school down here for like $150,000. He could have bought an elementary school. All you needed was one building. You didn't need 2, 3, 4 buildings. All you needed was one. You could have came down here and bought an elementary school. Since you say between grades 3 and 5, you could have bought an elementary school by itself for probably about $150K down here in Atlanta with very minimal repair. Very minimal repair. Because the birth rates were dropping back when he was trying to do all of this. So schools were shutting down because of lack of students. You just got transferred to other schools. Anyway, mommy just has to drive another 10 minutes out of her way. Maybe 5 if she's lucky. Any rate, he could have bought one of them with a desk and all. He could have bought it, quote unquote, fully furnished. With minimal repair, because it probably just shut down, probably been shut down for less than 5 years. And been ready to rock and roll. That's not what he did. He globetrotted. We sat there and watched him globetrot with the money. Got those buildings up there for a total of $20, according to the deed paperwork I researched. At any rate, he overpaid. He overpaid for absolute garbage, for bandos that are beyond the scope, beyond his financial scope needed to repair. Not counting land taxes. You know, HVAC is not cheap, bro. I was working in a hotel one time. One of the HVAC units went down. They kept, MacGyvering it, trying to get it to work with a paper clip, a wad of gum, and some sticky tape. So eventually, it just couldn't go no more. It took 2 months before they came in and installed a new HVAC system. And the company, we're in Columbus, the company to do it was in Cincinnati. The problem wasn't delivery. The problem was having the money in the coffers in the budget to do it. Because, this comes out of your hotel budget. You, as the GM, you're responsible for maintaining the property, not the big corporation. Take it out of your budget. And money was tight too. I mean, we're talking about a flat business, an operating business. Here you got to do just panhandling on the internet. Talking about some HVAC. Like, you ain't got not one desk. You still got ceiling tiles missing. Look like you still need ceiling repair. You haven't shown us if the bathrooms have been repaired or not. Every time you walk in that place, you hear crunching under your footsteps. You say, according to one of the inspections, the foundation failed. Foundation failed. Okay, it will cost about $2 million, which is more than what the buildings are worth to fix. Right. This is why the buildings were for sale anyway. You're down the street from 2 prisons, and the foundation is cracked. You know what I'm saying? It's an impoverished area. There are no children here, so therefore you got a whole abandoned high school with 3 other buildings, and you bought all of that. Like, you do know that you'll never get a certificate of occupancy for what you want to use it for, which is a school. You do know that, right? Simply because of the prisons alone, and then the foundation, which you're not going to get fixed. You're not going to get a certificate for occupancy. So you can fake like you bought $20,000 doors all you want to. You can run around, have all the paint days you want to. We understand the lecture circuit for you is drying up. You'll be announcing all these dates because, in all honesty, you're going to crash other people's event so you can grab the mic and speak, and pass around the hat and hope to increase donations. It was the saddest thing I've seen. What he did was when that girl called up and was trying to give him some money, young girl too. And I'm like, she was in her late 20s, early 30s. I'm like, how are you falling for this stuff? Girl, look at that man. He look homeless. Because he is. And the stuff that he talking about, I'm sorry. How do you not understand a race hustler when you see one? All that black power stuff. And this is what I was trying to say. I've been trying to say this for the longest. All that black power stuff is played out right now as far as the white man this, the white man that, and racism and this and that. Like, man, look. I was telling no boy today when we was on our walk, I said, look, if you can kill us paying money to the IRS, all right, create top-notch free healthcare, get crime off the streets and bring jobs back and get, these energy costs down or whatnot, bring industry back. I mean, like, truly live up to the name of Make America Great Again. Get the money out of Congress. We've been saying that for the longest. Even as Democrats, y'all been saying that you need to get the money out of Congress or the money out of politics. This is how you get the money out of politics, because the money is the payoffs. There's no way in hell Pfizer should be giving you a campaign contribution of over $1 million. That's ridiculous. When their stock is what, at $25 a share? Where are they getting the money from? This don't make no sense. It's not adding up. Are you just saying that they gave you this so that because you're laundering money through campaign contributions? Is that what you're doing? I mean, it just doesn't add up. What'd you do with the money? Since you're not running for office, where's the money? Show us the receipts. And that's how they get, just so y'all know, that's how they get them real easy. That's how they get a mayor or a governor or whatever politician. That's how they get them real easy, out of misuse of campaign contributions. Ain't that what they were trying to get Eric Adams for? Except they can't say misuse of campaign contributions because they kept it at the $150,000 rate. So they keep trying to get him on the other stuff, the accepting of luxury travel and hotel lodgings, and having them stay at that building, which didn't pass a safety inspection, opening it up to them. Those are the only two things that they can nail him on. But he got it right with the campaign contributions because he kept it at an even number. And he never touched the money. He never touched the money. As far as he was concerned, his staffers told him that that's what they donated, because that's what they're legally allowed to donate. It's just that they certainly did donate frequently. You know what I'm saying? They donated the same amount frequently. I'm just saying, if you can do all of that, I don't care if you call me the N-word to my face. Gas is 99 cents. Gas is 99 cents. You old orange wig wearing F-wit, whatever. I don't care. Just don't put your hands on me. I don't care what you call me, bruh. You made life cheaper. You made my pockets better. I know that sounds like some old hoe stuff to say, but I mean, we're not talking about a few dollars here. We're talking about life-changing savings and jobs and whatnot. We're talking about home costs being affordable. You say you follow drugs, you get drug addicts and drug dealers. But you start to follow the money and you don't know where the F is going to take you, Lester Freeman. Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'll be surprised. Bing Awards from The Wire. Okay. Yeah, you'd be surprised where it takes you. Take to some interesting places where people be sitting in a room with a big mirror waiting on somebody to come in and, explain to them why they're there. You start thinking of all types of stuff. They're a famous quote from The Wire. Yeah, I know sometimes the spell check could get you. Shoot. You damn right he's a dictator. You're damn right. You're damn right. As long as you keep your nose clean, you won't have any problems. That's what it's looking like to me. That's what it's looking like to me. As long as you keep your nose clean, you'll be all right. You got some Democratic leaders out here that didn't take any U.S. aid money or anything like that. They're like, on the up and up. They don't really understand what's going on. They don't understand why Maxine Waters and Walmart Obama and them, all of these senators, like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and them, while they're doing all this squawking, but they're the ones who are worth all of these millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, because of what they have in their bank accounts. Like, these people are like filthy rich. And it's like, well, how did you get filthy rich? You at max, your salary is what? $400,000 to $600,000? How the hell you get $45 million? What? Let's see your stock portfolio. You must have put a lot of money in crypto. I know you ain't got no shoe deals, so definitely know that ain't no Nike money. So where did this money come from? Ooh-wee. You damn right he's a dictator. You damn right. You say 180K? Oh, that's even worse if that's all you make. No, but I was saying they're gonna get rid of the AOCs, the Ayanna Presleys, the Jasmine Crockett's, and anybody else that's doing all this squawking, because do understand it's usually the guilty, right? Oh, what's her name? Ilhan Omar. Yeah, they're gonna drum y'all right up out of there, because y'all are the ones that are most opposed to all this Doge stuff. Elizabeth Warren, I think her and Bernie will probably have to step down, as will Maxine Waters. They'll have to step down in order to avoid prosecution. They're gonna have to step down to avoid prosecution. But I think that the AOCs and them, the captains or whatnot, I think they're gonna get prosecuted. They're gonna be the ones trying to make deals or whatnot. They're the ones that's gonna be looking to run, plus a whole bunch of unknown White House staffers. But as far as Congress go, people that be in front of the TV all the time, yeah, they're gonna be trying to make deals. They're the ones that's gonna be getting handcuffed, doing the perp walks and all that. You probably have governors make deals. Apparently, Trump has a hard on for J.D. Pritzker and Gavin Newsom. Got a real hard on for them. He understands that Brandon Johnson is just his puppet. He's his mouthpiece. He say all the stupid stuff. Well, what about reparations, bro? We talking about migrants, that the black people in Chicago that come up to these meetings, they're now wearing MAGA attire, coming at you because of what you did to their black society with these illegal criminal migrants. You're that bad. Oh yeah, Ilhan Omar going to mess around and get deported because she married her brother in an obvious fraud for his citizenship. Oh, of course. Yeah, they're going to revoke her citizenship. Yeah, they actually, this is what be killing me. And this is how you know you've just screwed up. The beauty of media now is that they're not guarded with their questions. people actually ask important questions that any other time nobody would question the White House on them. Or if they were, you know, you had that Carrie chick, the black Haitian lesbian, whatever the hell she identified as, you know, you'd have her flopping all over the podium and all over the stage. Now, Peter, you know not to ask me no question like that. You know, like she having a conversation, you know, at a bar, you know, like it's her, like she's having a drink with the press and trying to lie her way through things because she know, you know, she don't want to give them the truth. Whereas the new chick, you ask her a question about something going on that somebody has said, especially in the media or Trump, they ask him directly about Ilhan Omar. He was getting ready to walk away from press conference, and then somebody brought it up about her marrying her brother for citizenship or whatnot. He was like, "What?" He stopped in his track. What'd you say? And then they repeated it, and he was like, "Well, you know what? We're gonna take a look at that." In so many words, he said, "We're gonna take a look at that." He was like, "That's the first I've heard of it, and if that's true, that's unfortunate because you know it's fraud." But you know, I mean, if that's what the rumor is, we'll have somebody to look into it and see if it's true. Like, girl, you screwed up royally. That's why I was like, you know, these chicks need to shut their damn mouths talking all that racism stuff because you're just putting a target on your back, and that's exactly what she did. And you may call her getting losing her citizenship and getting deported her fighting for her rights, but she wasn't fighting for her rights. You know what rights she was fighting for? She was fighting for the rights to be able to keep her stolen money, stolen taxpayer money without going to jail. So she was mounting a defense to say that what's going on. Watch, I guarantee you, if they really do look into her, and because it looks like they're looking into her, they talked about her words on, you know, in Congress over the past, 2 weeks, especially with her in this migrant situation. They brought up all her dirt. Yeah, she's looking at a strong possibility of having her citizenship revoked and deported back to Somalia, her and her brother and the kids. You know, the kids can stay if they're old enough, you know. But if you're 16, 17 years old, who you staying with in America while your parents are deported? Might as well go with them. John Holman said, yeah, take the kids too. Like, you're separating parents from their kids, from parents from their children. Like, no, the kids that have a choice, they can go too. They can stay or go. It's up to them. Don't look for us to sustain you, though. So, you damn right he's a dictator. Yeah, Ilhan Omar, she gonna mess around there and get deported, revoked and deported. AOC charged. Ayanna Presley charged. Jasmine Crockett charged. She get deported. She earned it. Yeah, she begged for it. You got to talking about the small hats in public, criticizing them. That's career suicide for a politician. That's career suicide for a politician, especially one of color. Like, excuse me, what? Like, what do you think? Like, you know what? We'll just get rid of you. Because what are you going to do except bitch and moan? I tell you what, you can bitch and moan on a podcast on YouTube somewhere. Maybe somebody will listen to you. I know the irony. But I mean, that's really going to be the only option you left with, unless you're going to get a bunch of people to stand around holding up protest signs while you holding the bullhorn talking about, oh, this is discrimination, racism. Oh, I'm such a victim. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts, you know, when you're standing before a judge for sentencing. See, what puzzles me is why we got so many black women running their mouth in government about everybody's issues but our own. Because that's where the money is in. That's where the kickbacks are coming from. It's coming from other people. You know, oh, transsexual lesbians in Ghana need to learn how to tie shoelaces. I need $100 million. That's why. That's the hustle. You have a damn about you. You know what they say? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, I say I agree. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, and settle for less, especially when it comes to a mate. Don't settle for less. Hell, whether she works in corporate America or you know, ring people up at Family Dollar. If she down, she down. You know, your racial preference is up to you. Everything is up to you, shoot. No, but that's why. Because that's how they get their kickbacks. You know, Republicans are American first. You had an era there under the Bushes where it was war machine money first. But now you're in an era where it's Americans first. You got a Republican in office that's American first. That, remember, started off as a Democrat. So it was already in him for the betterment of society at a time where being a Democrat was pretty much kind of a progressive thing, especially when Bill Clinton was in office, because despite his flaws, you know, he had us in the black when it came to the deficit. I mean, I know he traded secrets for the debt to China, but I mean, what have they really done with the stuff? You know what I'm saying? They don't have a nuclear armament. Every time they tried to build one, the U.S. used HARP to destroy it, because they tried to build underground facilities, and they used HARP to destroy it with earthquakes and floods and whatnot. But yeah, money was flowing. Like, that was the last time Georgia voted Democrat. So when Jasmine Crockett sit here saying we have places in Georgia, you know, like Atlanta, Macon, Augusta, whatnot, you got people in Georgia, you got seats in Georgia, but you probably gonna lose them seats. You might lose half of them, if not one, based on everything that's going on. Especially if you see the effects in Georgia. I mean, look at Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis helped you have a seat in Georgia. You lost that seat. That woman's getting ready to go down for misappropriation of taxpayer funds with that freaking boyfriend of hers. What's his name? Willis. I can picture his face. I don't know why I'm having a problem with these people's names. But yeah, this girl talking about something. He wasn't my boyfriend, even though records show your cell phone pinging in his apartment at, like, you get there after 9:30 and then you leave like before 3 on average. 3 a.m. Talking about some coaching. Yeah, I bet he was coaching you. Hold it up like this. Nathan Wade. Okay. Yeah. You sat up there and testified that y'all were just friends. Y'all don't mess around. Y'all don't see each other. And then here we are in November. The videotape of you coming, y'all two together at your daughter's traffic stop, where she called you to try and get her out of the ticket outside of 285, which you know you won't have no power in. So you should have been like, look, just gonna take the arrest, because she was driving on a suspended license. Like, they arresting you? Like, yeah, like, okay, look, yeah, because you outside 285. They don't play by Georgia, Atlanta rules. They for real out there. Take the arrest. Call me when you get to the police station, and then we'll come and bail you out. And try to get the car back, try and get it out the tow before, the fines go up. That's what they should have done. And Nathan Wade should have stayed in the car, because, it's already in the record. Like, yeah, this is her daughter. So if Nathan Wade is seen anywhere on camera dealing with her or her family, then you're busted. Your whole case goes to pot. You guys are still messing with each other after you said that you weren't in a relationship. The relationship ended months ago. Ain't that what you said? You paid him back in cash. You paid him $600,000. That's $500,000 more than the other two lawyers on the case. $600K. And shortly after he was getting all that money, with you trying to him chump up on some phony election charges, y'all went on vacation. You say it was a grand total of what, $15,000 or whatnot that was spent on you with taxpayer funds, and then you had the nerve to say you paid him back in cash because your daddy said don't owe no man no money or some stupid stuff like that. Like, you paid him back in cash. How? You say you saved up over $15,000 from, going to buy gum and cigarettes and, a dress and all of this stuff. Like, really, you had $15,000 in spare change floating around your house. You, a single mother of a couple of kids. This job don't pay that much for you to be having $15,000 in, spare change lying around the house, especially in large denominations of bills. But please, what'd you do? Roll in like 6 jugs of quarters and pennies and nickels and dimes. I weighed this. This ain't about $15,000. Like, I'm sorry, what, ma'am? Like, because do understand, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to turn Nathan Wade and be like, well, show us what you did with the money that you said she paid you. Huh? That's why they want both of them to come up to Congress and testify sometime this year. Yeah, this fool and her is on body cam on the side of the road because daughter called her. She drove down there before they could take her to jail. And she trying to find a way to stop her daughter from going to jail. And they was looking at her like, oh, we know who you are. We don't agree with what you did with the Trump case. So no, you can pick your daughter up. We're going to go book her and she'll be out within the hour. So you can meet us at the police station. They was not playing games with her. Like, no, she will have a record. That's exactly what they did. And y'all are on body cam when y'all ain't supposed to be together. And you trying to use your power to get your daughter out of, getting booked for driving on a suspended license. Of all charges, because of reckless endangerment, by the way. You got Christina Peterson flipping out, putting her hands on a cop, fighting a cop outside of a ratchet club that she ain't had no business at. But she is who she is, to where her wig come off and she in the back of the police car calling the police officer all sorts of derogatory names and trying to get him to call some guy before she goes to central booking, going to booking, because this guy, I guess she need him to do the fixer, which more than likely is probably a judge. And the guy was like, you can call him once you get processed. I need you. No, you call him after you get processed. As you sit in the back of my patrol car and calls me all types of derogatory names, all on camera, because, come on, how dumb are you? You do know that it's not just body cams that we wear. These cars have cameras in them too. And all of this will be held against you in court. We don't even really have to ask you no questions. We just sit you in the back of the car and just let you forget or that you're being recorded. You say Fanny's father vouched for her. He basically said it's common to have cash in the house. Plenty of folks have cash in the house. Home robbery is up. Yeah, look, I understand the whole cash now thing, but $15,000 worth of cash, really? So if we look at, oh my God, so why are you walking around with large amounts of cash, because people don't do that. You're not a rapper and your salary doesn't call for you. I mean, we're looking at your whole paycheck is going into the bank account. You know, all your transactions are through your credit card. So where are you getting all of this cash to be walking around buying things without touching your paycheck, to where you have $15,000 worth of cash in your house? Yeah, but you know, you're in your neighborhood, yes, but you guys aren't district attorneys. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different, ball game. So yeah, Fondy's going to be cooked. You're probably going to lose those seats. You know, Warnock is on that list from Pfizer. All right, so that seat, you can kiss that seat goodbye. Definitely kiss Warnock's seats goodbye. I mean, good Lord, this dude had a runoff with Herschel Walker. This dude had a runoff with Herschel Walker. Good Lord. If he ran for it again, he might actually get the seat. But like I said, the Republicans are probably going to find Democrats that are Republican friendly. And I mean, if I'm the Republicans, if I know I'm about to politically decimate my enemies and I want true bipartisanship, I am funding my my political opponent. I'm gonna get a Republican friendly Democrat and make sure I have something on him. Make sure I have something on him. You know, busting him to his hotel room with a hooker that we hired, that he thought was just, a chick that was just interested in him at the bar. Come on, let's go in the back alley. My car's right over here. Next thing you know, cell phones are all, somebody with a cell phone, or pictures are being taken. Oh, catching you on the downstroke. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You don't want these pictures to get out, Senator. You will vote yes on issue 12. I mean, I know it's blackmail. It's on some puffy stuff, but hey, man, politics is a dirty game. Politics is a dirty game, and you got to make sure you have leverage. You're going to buy somebody, you got to have leverage. Let's just be honest. It's just business, nothing personal, Yes, I know. Caught you on a downstroke on, this dude in a wig and a skirt. Yeah. Even got you on camera. So I was like, oh, I love man butt, especially in a wig and a dress. Oh my God. I'm gonna peg you like my wife pegs me. I mean, good Lord, you can't be putting that stuff on audio. Your career is over if that gets out. Yeah, but sex scandals normally take down politicians and presidents. Some reason it's weird. It's not the fraud. No. It's the sex scandal. I know. I'm just getting stuff off the skull brain, but I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. Yeah, that's what I would do if I was a Republican. I get Republican friendly Democrats that are on the team, or people that started off as Republican, switch over to Democrat. I mean, what Democratic leadership is going to whine, fuss, cuss, and moan about that when, the ones that anybody listened to are going to be tied up in court facing fraud charges, fraud and theft charges. Who's going to be listening to them? That way you have full control of the House, the Senate, and Congress. I mean, House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. A lot of things you probably wouldn't. You would just take the Congress simply based on formality. Simply based on formality. Because you're still going to have some activist Democrats that are going to be totally opposed and try to go to the court system, and you got to respond to that, or you got to go before Congress. You know, you just got to waste time, but your orders will slip right through. You'll slip right through. Yeah, if I wanted true control as a dictator, that's exactly what I would do. Play both. I'd have vested interest in playing both sides of the fence. All right, let's get out of here. I'm on here too long. Plus, I still want to do the 9 o'clock show. So much of stuff has popped up that we haven't talked about. I just wanted to answer the question. All right, I'll catch y'all at 9 tonight. Yeah, still.
He must have given up, thrown in the towel, abandoned his sad little masquerade. I finally got to him. The power of the press triumphs.